A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Did you hear that, the whistle?
Sure do, Amos. That whistle means rinso white, rinso bright, rinso new.
Yeah, that's right, and it means that just as Sunday we was on the air for 1950 rinso with solium.
The Amos and Andy Show with Ernestine Wade, Lou Lubin, Johnny Lee, Willard Waterman, Jeff Alexander and his orchestra, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. Show brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of new 1950 Rinso with Solium, the soap that gets your clothes whiter and brighter than new.
Rinso white, rinso white,
rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
Last year at the Thanksgiving celebration at Sapphire's mother's house, George Kingfish Stevens surprised the 22 assembled relatives by getting to his feet and making the following irrevocable statement.
Yes, folks, I'm telling each and every one of you sweet people that 1 year from today, you was all invited to my house for a big Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, another year has rolled around, and once again, the happy Thanksgiving season is here. And this morning, when Sapphire reminded the Kingfish of his invitation, he turned to his wife and said sweetly,
"What, have them 22 vultures here for Thanksgiving? I won't have them. I'll commit suicide first."
George Stevens, you done invited them here, and they're coming. And that's all there is to it.
Well, now listen, Sapphire, we can't feed that mob of gluttons.
Gluttons? Why, at Mama's house last year, they all had perfect manners.
Perfect manners, huh? Why, when that food come on, they charge for the table like Notre Dame's backfield.
George, you're getting all worked up over nothing. If we get a 15-pound turkey, that'll be plenty.
Not if your mama's there, it won't. 15-pound turkey is just like one hors d'oeuvre to that old local.
George, you can complain all you want, but you was the one that invited my relatives. Now, what you gonna do about it?
Well, maybe we can take them out to eat.
Take them out to eat? Why could you take 22 people?
Well, I might be able to make reservations at the Salvation Army. I don't know.
Now, listen, George, we're going to have dinner here at home, and you is going to provide the dinner, and that's final.
Well, now, wait a minute, Sapphire.
George, I want to start off the meal with the shrimp cocktail. Then salad, cranberry sauce, candied yams, mince pie, pumpkin pie, and a nice turkey.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to get a pretty light turkey, because all I got is $1.25, I tell you.
George Stevens, this is one thing you ain't getting out of. I ain't going to be embarrassed in front of my relatives. Now, you get out of here and find some way to get us a Thanksgiving dinner, or there's going to be fireworks, and not because it's the 4th of July. Do you hear that, you no good loafing bum? I'm going to the bedroom.
Holy smokes, why did I have to marry a woman with a Dynaflow mouth? Well, come on, Anna. Let's walk on down to the lodge hall.
Okay, Kingfish. You was really upset about your in-laws coming, ain't you?
Oh, yeah, Anna, yeah. I'm really in trouble already. I got a pre-motor Thanksgiving dinner by Thursday.
Yeah, well, with all them relatives coming, I guess you ain't got no oil tourniquet.
Well, I wish they'd never started this Thanksgiving thing in the first place. If them pilgrims had only stayed back in Siberia where they belong, we wouldn't be...
I guess that Paul Revere is much to blame as anybody. Riding around town on a horse shouting, "The Pilgrims is coming."
Yeah, that's sort of thing, all right. Then on Thanksgiving Day, the Pilgrims asked all the in-laws to come in, and then they went out and shot turkeys for them.
Yeah.
That's where they made the mistake. If they had any sense, they'd have shot the in-laws instead. That would have been a nice custom to carry on through the years.
Hey, you know, Kingfish, if you was got to feed all them in-laws...
you see the way that truck skidded around the corner?
Sure did.
Hey, wait a minute, Anna.
Now, where are you going, Kingfish?
A package just fell off the back of that truck. Let me get it.
Yeah, go ahead, get it. What is it, Kingfish? What you got?
Wait a minute, Anna. Wait a minute. There's a little hole in the wrapping paper here. Let me take a squint inside.
Yeah.
Andy, you won't believe what's in there. The hand of fate just slipped me a turkey.
A turkey?
Yeah, it's all cooked and everything. All you got to do is to heat it. Come on, Andy. Let's take it in the lodge hall here while I get my bearings here.
Yeah, let me see the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, peek through the little hole in the bag. Yeah, it's all done up in wax paper. Look at that.
Oh, look at there, boy. He has a golden brown.
Yeah, come on in the lodge hall here and let's close the door. Well, Andy, that was a lucky break. And I can't take the turkey back because the truck went by so fast that neither one of us see the name on it to tell who the thing belongs to. You see, we can't.
It was Thompson's marker.
I say we can't. You got a dinosaur mouth too, ain't you?
Listen, all I say was it was Thompson's market.
I didn't hear a word you say and stop hollering Thompson's market at me. Couldn't nobody see nothing.
The address was 487 West 135th Street.
Listen, Andy.
And the telephone number was Lehigh 59256.
Listen, Andy, did you ever hear the old saying, speech is silver and silence is gold?
Yeah, I hear that.
Well, why don't you put your big mouth back on the gold standard then?
All I can tell you is what I see with my own eyes. I seed the truck.
You know what happened to you, don't you?
What?
You done see the mirage.
A mirage? What is that?
Well, that's a common thing, Andy. Like when you was out on the desert. You see something there that ain't there, that's all.
Well, if it ain't there, how do you see it?
Well, binoculars.
Yeah. I never thought of that. That's right, yeah. But it's still kind of funny that I see the truck with letters on it nearly a foot high.
Yeah, funny, all right, yeah.
But you say that was a mirage that skidded around that corner, huh? Sure was a big one.
Yeah, well, Andy, there's bigger mirages than that.
There is?
Yeah, you take one of them steamships that cruises around the world that I heard about. It's one of them tropical islands in the Pacific. The passengers went ashore, danced with the natives, picked bananas off the trees, ate coconuts, and spent 2 glorious weeks at the place before they found out there was no island there at all.
Yeah, well, that sure makes this truck mirage look like nothing.
Oh, yeah, and now that I have convinced you that you didn't see what you saw, now let me figure out where I'm going to keep this turkey. I wonder if you would mind keeping it in your icebox, then.
Well, wait a minute, here. What's the matter with that refrigerator you got, Kingfish?
Well, I tell you, Andy, I had a little difference of opinion with the electric company about 2 months ago, and they done severed my connections. That's what it is.
Okay, then, I'll keep it for you. But, Kingfish, I still don't think you're doing the right thing keeping the turkey that don't belong to you. That's liable to start bothering your conscience.
Well, then, I just convinced you that neither one of us know where it come from.
Yeah, well, I know that we don't know where it come from.
Yeah, well, then, what does you expect me to do?
Why don't you take it back to Thompson's Mirage on 135th Street?
Oh, me. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I ain't had a wink of sleep yet. I don't know why I can't sleep. All my problems are solved. I got that turkey and everything. Why can't I sleep?
I'll tell you why you can't sleep, George.
Who that?
It's me, George, your conscience.
Conscience, what are you bothering me for now?
It's that turkey, George. You know it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Thompson's Market. And mark my words, if you insist on keeping that turkey, you'll never be able to enjoy it.
I won't be able to enjoy that turkey. Conscience, you ain't got as much sense as I thought you had.
And another thing, George, it's little things like taking a turkey that doesn't belong to you that lead to bigger things. This may well be your first step toward a life of crime.
Yeah, but you don't understand, Conscience. On one side, there might be a life of crime. But on the other side, I'd have to face 22 of my wife's relatives without no turkey. They give Joan Arc a better deal than that, you know.
All right, George, have it your way. But remember what I said about starting a life of crime. One of these days, you'll find yourself in a big gray building with bars on it.
You mean they'll put me in a...
Yes, and it won't be a mirage either.
Oh, no.
Happy little wash day song, for a wash that's whiter and brighter than new. Rinso washes, Rinso new, Rinso white.
Whiter than new,
Rinso white,
brighter than new,
Rinso white, Rinso white.
Rinso new.
Rinso new. It's an amazing fact. 1950 Rinso with Solium gets white clothes whiter, washable colors brighter than new. Rinso new. Even on rainy days, Rinso puts sunshine in your wash. No other soap can make your wash so white, so bright, because no other soap contains the scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium. 1950 Rinso gets out more dirt. Yes, gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. And yet Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. Get Rinso today. See your wash become whiter, brighter than new.
Rinso white, Rinso white.
Rinso new.
Happy little wash day song.
Oh, me. I don't know why I feel so tired today. I guess it's because I didn't get no sleep last night with that conscience bothering me. Well, come in, Shorty. Greetings of the holiday season.
Yeah, Happy Easter. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. You can't. What day is it?
Well, Thanksgiving is the one I was talking about, Shorty. And I'm going to tell you something. I was in a mess about the thing, too. You see, I done something a little wrong. And all last night, a voice kept nagging at me, keeping me awake and making me miserable.
Yeah, Kingsfield. You ought to put a muzzle on that sapphire.
Yeah. No, Shorty, no. I tell you what, it was just my conscience that was bothering me.
What was that bothering you for?
Well, the gust of the thing is that I found a turkey, and, well, I didn't know what to do about it, so... my conscience wants me to return the thing, you see. And the thing that really got me, Shorty, is that my conscience said to me that a little thing like taking a turkey, just taking one turkey now, might lead to a life of crime. You think there's any truth to that, Shorty?
Oh, yeah. That's where it is in life. That's where it is in life, Kingsfield. The little things lead up to bigger things. Look what happened to my father.
Yeah, well, what happened there?
One day, Papa, he went into a market, and while the clerk wasn't looking, he took a can of sardines, and the next day he took a jar of pickles, and from there he went on to take Swiss cheese, liverwurst, salami, smoked tongue, and whole ham.
Holy smoke! He took all that stuff. What finally happened to him?
Oh, well, he went to the police. He gave himself up to the detail. He decided to come clean with that. He opened a delicatessen.
Oh, me. With that conscience bothering me half the night, I didn't get much sleep. I'm going to see if I can catch a little catnap on the sofa here. I'll lay down here in the lodge hall and take a little nap. Turkey leading to a life of crime. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. I better get some sleep here and forget about that crime stuff. After all, it could never happen to me. Life of crime. Life of crime.
Calling all cars, pick up George Stevens for turkey snatching. Calling all cars, pick up George Stevens for jewelry store robbery. Calling all cars, pick up George Stevens for armed bank holdup. Calling all cars, pick up George Stevens for blowing up Fort Knox. Shoot on sight.
All right, Stevens, come out of that alley. We got you covered.
I ain't coming out. You'll never take me. I won't confess. I won't confess. Where do I sign, fellas?
Gentlemen of the jury, you have reached a verdict in the case of the state of New York versus Mad Dog Stevens. Foreman Amos Jones, what is your verdict?
Well, we find the defendant guilty on all counts and recommend the death penalty.
Was the jury's decision unanimous?
Well, we had no disagreement except one there. 6 of us wanted to hang him and 6 of us wanted to burn him. Amos, you can't do this to me.
The prisoner will please stand in front of the bench while the judge pronounces sentence.
George Stevens, are you ready for me to pass sentence?
Why, where's Sapphire, the judge?
You have been duly convicted by a jury of 12 turkeys, and I hereby sentence you to be taken to Thompson's Market, where on January 15th at 8 o'clock in the evening you will be put to death in the electric chair. Tickets now on sale at the box office.
Oh, no, Sapphire. Not the chair, not the chair. Oh, it's you, Warden. Don't just stand there. Say something to me.
Hello.
Andy, you the warden?
Yeah, what about it?
Andy, you gotta help me. Look, they ain't fooling. They has already slit my pants leg. What's next, Andy? What's next?
Well, we usual shaves the top of the prisoner's head, but you got a pretty clean job there.
Warden, ain't there nothing you can do for me?
Well, I got a little surprise for you, Mad Dog. I was going to give you the juice at 8 o'clock, but I got you an hour's stay of execution.
Yeah, well, got some hope. What did I get to stay for?
Well, I'm going to watch television tonight, and I don't want the tube to go dim during Arthur Godfrey.
Oh, me. Why did I ever start off by taking the turkey?
Well, it's too late now. And I got to run along, too. I got to speak to the reporters who's going to cover the thing for the papers.
Yeah, what is you going to speak to them about?
Oh, I'm going to tell them to control their laughing and giggling during the festivities. All right, guard, you can bring in the prisoner's last meal.
Oh, me, my last meal. What is it, guard?
Well, it's going to be pork and it's going to be found nice baked Virginia roast turkey with Thompson dressing.
No, I don't want no turkey. Take it away. Take it. Oh, what a terrible dream that was. 2 minutes more and I woke up dead. Oh, me. I don't know whether to give up the turkey or face them 22 relatives. I don't know what to do.
Hi, Kingfish.
Andy, you just the man I want to see. You sure is a fine pal.
What's the matter, Kingfish?
Watching television while I'm sitting there burning in the electric chair. Andy, don't ever speak to me again.
This is Ken Carpenter. You know, friends, I'm not easily amazed, but here's something that never fails to impress me. A wash done with new 1950 Rinso turns out not just whiter, but whiter than new, and washable colors brighter than new, because only Rinso contains Solium. Now, it's a proven fact that no other soap can get your wash so white or colors so bright. Your clothes turn out Rinso new. Why, you know, even on rainy days, even if you have to dry your wash indoors, wonderful Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. 1950 Rinso gets out more dirt than any other type of wash day product. Yet Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. You better stop in at the store and get the economical giant size of new 1950 Rinso with Solium. And then see for yourself what an amazingly beautiful wash new Rinso gives you.
Well, I'll get on into Calhoun's office here. I got to do something about that turkey. I couldn't stand no more of them awful dreams. Hello there, Calhoun.
Be with you in a minute, Kingfish. I'm just dictating a letter here to my secretary. And so, gentlemen, if you will take care of this matter referred to above, I'm sure we can come to terms which will be mutually satisfactory. Yours very truly, Algonquin J. Calhoun.
Wait a minute, Calhoun. Who is you dictating this letter to? Ain't nobody here but the two of us.
Well, but doggone, I keep forgetting that gal quit this morning.
Calhoun, the reason I come to see you, I really in a dilemma here today.
What's it about, Kingfish?
Yeah, well, now look, I found a turkey that didn't belong to me, and my conscience is telling me to take it back. So on one side, I got my conscience bothering me, and on the other side, I got a 15-pound turkey. Now, what would you do in a spot like that with a turkey?
Set the oven at 470 degrees and baste it every hour.
But you see, my conscience won't let me do it.
Well, tell me this. Does you know who really owned the turkey?
Well, I guess I dug the horses myself. Thompson's Market.
Well, the only thing I can see for you to do Kingfish, is to raise the money and then pay Thompson.
Yeah, but who I gonna raise the money from? That's the problem.
Well, Andy Brown is your best friend, ain't he?
Yeah, he's the best friend I got.
Well, what good is a friend if you can't jip him?
That's it. That's what I'll do. I'll figure out some way to get the money from Andy.
Well, if I don't see you for the next few days, Kingfish, I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you. Where are you eating Thanksgiving, Calhoun?
Well, you see, every Thanksgiving for the past 3 years, I've been taking the turkey up to my gal friend's house. Yeah, boy, she really loves it. She always so grateful when I bring the turkey that she throws her arms around me and we smooch for an hour.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, but you know something? I got a faint suspicion that gal is cheating on me.
What you mean?
I was looking in the icebox last night and there was 18 turkeys.
Well, I'll get in Anna's room here. That saying of Calhoun, what good is a friend if you can't jip him, sound like an old proverb of mine.
Come in. Oh, hiya, Kingfish.
Yeah, well, hello there, brother Abner. Glad to see you, old pal. Glad to see you. Well, what you doing sitting down in the chair there, brother Abner?
Oh, I'll be with you in a minute, Sheriff. You know, I've been walking around all day, and I just changed my socks.
Changing your socks, huh?
Yeah, I'm changing the right one to the left foot and the left one to the right.
Yeah, I guess, that's good all right. Rotating the socks is a good idea. Yeah, then the hole don't always come up on the big toe, do it?
Yeah, what you doing? You come up here to get your turkey out of my icebox?
Not yet, Andy, old pal, my friend. I just come up here to cheer you up, poor lonesome boy.
To cheer me up?
Yeah, let me put my arm around you here. I love you, Andy.
Yeah, I know.
You know, me and Sapphire was talking about you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how sad it is that you got to spend this gay holiday season all by yourself. You know, I got all choked up about it, Andy.
You did, huh?
Oh, yeah. I blubbered so much at breakfast, I cried right in my plate.
Oh.
Yeah, my tears filled up all them little squares in my waffle I was eating. I tell you, it's a sad thing, Andy. You being all alone in this miserable room here.
Yeah, what is you driving at, Kingfish?
Well, Andy, I was extenuating you an invitation to have Thanksgiving dinner with us.
No fooling. You mean you want me to come up to your place for Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah, Andy. I'm inviting you in consideration of our long friendship, our lifelong association, and a small sum of $15. Yeah.
$15?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kingfish, when you start slapping me on the back, sooner or later your hand always slips down to my wallet.
Well, now, wait a minute, Andy. Think of what you're getting for your money. That $15 entitles you to a turkey, cranberry sauce, all the fixings, plus the love and affection of 22 genuine relatives. That's what you get.
The love and affection of 22 relatives.
Yeah, that's right. They'll maul all over you just like you was one of the family. Yeah, not only that, Andy, but your $15 entitles you to a ringside seat for the carving, too.
Ringside seat?
That's right, Andy. You'll be right up there with the breast and the second joint set. Not back in the bleachers with the stuffing and gravy crowd.
I I tell you, Kingfish, I'd like to come, but tell you the truth, I only got a couple of dollars to tide me over the holidays.
Only got $2?
Yeah, that's all.
Well, you wouldn't enjoy it anyway, Andy. I tell you what, you just bring the turkey by at 1 o'clock on Thursday, come to the back door, and then be on your way.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Kingfish. What was I going to do for Thanksgiving? I ain't got no place to go.
Well, the best thing for you to do is drop down to the mission. You liable to run into some other penniless bum down there, and the two of you can be thankful together. See you later. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Well, I done made an honest effort to raise the money to pay back Thompson's mortgage. Now, it ain't my fault that Andy didn't have no money. I'll just keep that turkey, and my conscience is clear.
George?
Yeah. It's you again, Conscience.
You're not doing the right thing. Take that turkey back to Thompson's market.
Now, wait a minute now, Conscience. What are you making such a fuss about? After all, I'll be eating for you, too.
No, George. No, you've got to listen to me.
Well, now, listen. I'm going to do what I want to do.
All right, George, but mark my words. You'll never be able to enjoy that turkey. You'll never enjoy it.
What did that Conscience know? Anyway, I was in the clear. Even if Thompson didn't miss the turkey, ain't nobody going to find out I had it. When them 22 relatives get through with that bird, there ain't even going to be no caucus delecti. I know. Well, Sapphire, I see all the relatives is in there.
Oh, yeah, George. They all showed up, all 22 of them.
Yeah, there sure is a mess of them, all right. I just walked through the living room. They all perched up there like a pack of timber wolves.
What time did you say Andy'd be here with the turkey?
Well, I told him to be over here at 1 o'clock. He ought to have been here 5 minutes ago. Now, wait a minute. That's him at the back door now. Wait a minute. I'll open the door and let him in there. Oh, Brother Andy.
Hi, Kingfish. Hi.
Yeah, well, I see you got the turkey there. And my conscience said that I ain't going to enjoy this thing. Now, give me that turkey, Andy. You get on down to the mission before they run out of beans, Andy.
You know something, Kingfish? I've been thinking. The other day when you found this turkey, you say that truck that fell off was just a mirage?
Yeah, that's right, Andy. Mirages is a common thing, all right.
It certainly is. And you've got another mirage on your hands.
What you mean, Andy?
Well, this ain't no real turkey. This is one of them plastic jobs the market decorates the window with. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, Andy, you know what's just as good as a box of Rinso for washing clothes?
Certainly. Another box of Rinso.
Millions of women say there's nothing like Rinso. And today, more women use Rinso than any other wash day soap in the world. 1950 Rinso with Solium actually gets your white clothes whiter than new and washable colors brighter than new. Your wash is Rinso New. Rinso is great for dishes, too. It makes the hardest part of dishwashing easier. Pots and pans really shine. Get the economical giant-size Rinso with a red Solium label.
Good night, folks.
See you next Sunday.
Be sure to be with us next Sunday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company, the makers of new Rinso with Solium, will again present the Amos and Andy Show.
Lifebuoy Get Skin Cleaner gives you longer all-over protection after your daily bath. Remember, there's not just one or two, but 13 areas of the skin where doctors have found BO. Lifebuoy protects you all over, gives you top 24-hour security. Get Lifebuoy right away.
Be sure and listen to the Amos and Andy Show at this same time next Sunday. And stay tuned for the Edgar Bergen Charlie McCarthy Show, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The DuPont Company of Wilmington, Delaware, makers of better things for better living through chemistry, presents the Cavalcade of America. Tonight's star, Thomas Mitchell. Tonight's play, One Nation Indivisible.
He was a great newspaper editor, maker of presidents, an indomitable crusader. He proclaimed that he feared no member of mankind, and it was true. But equally true, though most often hidden, was the fact that he loved all mankind. He was Horace Greeley of the New York Tribune. The time, March 1865.
When you get back to the office, be sure the composer...
A hansom cab hurries over New York's cobblestone streets. Horace Greeley gives last-minute instructions to his office boy as he races to catch a train.
Mr. Greeley, you mean that President Lincoln has asked you to come to see him before, and you've said no?
Oh, for heaven's sake, boys, stop talking about Abe Lincoln as if he was some kind of a minor deity. A few years ago... Don't interrupt, boy. A few years ago, he was an unknown Illinois politician. It was largely my doing that he got to be president in the first place.
Your doing, sir?
Read about the Republican Convention in 1860. I didn't really want to give Lincoln the nomination, but it was the only way I could stop Seward.
But hasn't he made a good president, sir?
Well, he's only human. I've had to point out his mistakes from time to time. But yes, on the whole, I'd say he's been a good president.
But then why have you refused his invitation, sir?
Why? To keep my independence, boy, my freedom, to make up my own mind.
Well, why did you accept this invitation, sir?
Well, Yes, now that I give it a thought, I don't rightly know why I did say yes this time. That's peculiar. I don't rightly know why.
Oh, come in, Mr. Greeley, come in. Good to have you here at last.
Good day, Mr. Lincoln. How are you, sir?
Have I changed so much, my friend?
Oh, well, it's been 4 years. I imagine we both changed a little.
Yes, I imagine so. Greeley, I asked you down here for one reason.
Yes?
Soon this terrible war will be over, and we'll be one nation once again. But what kind of a nation?
I'm not sure I understand you, sir.
We took up arms for one reason, to preserve the Union. And with victory, it will have been restored, at least geographically and legally. But otherwise, I'm greatly afraid the breach will be wider than ever. Even before the last Confederate flag's lowered, there'll be an outcry from the North for, well, it'll be called justice. In this case, the more proper term is revenge. And revenge can breed only bitterness, and bitterness only more revenge. It's a frightful, endless process, Greeley. We've got to try to stop it before it begins.
We, Mr. President?
I hope so, Greeley. Because I seem to remember a rhyme. What's Greeley's opinion on Monday is public opinion by Sunday. When you became an abolitionist, millions followed you. When you called for the hanging of Jeff Davis, well, it's said that 10,000 men enlisted the sooner to gratify your desire in the matter.
And now, sir, you'd have me reverse myself, swallow my own words?
They were words for war, and they helped us to win. But they're not words which will contribute to a fruitful peace.
But what about Jeff Davis, sir? What will happen to him?
Privately, I hope he never falls into our hands.
A good many Northerners believe that he's a rebel, that he should be tried for treason.
To what end, Greeley? So North and South can fight the war all over again in a courtroom.
Jefferson Davis should not be punished?
No. Let history judge him. For us, we have a peace to win. Help us, Horace, please. Use that tremendous power of yours for charity, for magnanimity in triumph.
With all respect, sir, that which you call my power derives solely from my independence.
And something else, Horace. Your integrity. I thank heaven for it. There are already too few men in this world on whose integrity I'd stake my life.
Thank you, sir. Profoundly. And I shall consider what you've said to me before taking a stand.
It's mid-April now. Lee has surrendered. Richmond has fallen. The Confederate capital changes almost from day to day as the small party of officials, led by President Jefferson Davis, moves southward. Today, in a small house in Charlotte, North Carolina, Jefferson Davis awakens to the knock of his private secretary.
Mr. President, it's Harrison, sir.
Come in. Good morning, Harrison.
Good morning, sir.
What time is it?
Well, it's only 6, sir. But we have a dispatch from General Johnson marked urgent. I thought you'd wish to be awakened.
Quite right, Harrison. Is this it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, no. Good heavens.
More terrible news, sir?
Yes. Here, read it.
President Lincoln was shot by an unknown assassin at Ford's Theater night of 14th. No. Died morning of 50. I'm sorry, sir.
Lincoln murdered.
You know what this means, sir?
It means that we've lost our noblest and best friend in the court of the enemy. For the North, it's a tragedy. And for us, it's a disaster.
It also means that you must start west immediately, sir, and try to get across the Mississippi.
Why?
You won't be safe now, sir. It's quite possible you'll be blamed for this terrible crime.
What? Blame me for Lincoln's murder? Oh, no, surely not. Whatever the North thinks of me, they can't believe me capable of inspiring such a foul and frightful crime. No, Harrison. I don't believe it.
$100,000 reward, said the poster, for the arrest of Jefferson Davis, wanted for complicity in the atrocious murder of Abraham Lincoln. A week later, Jefferson Davis was captured by federal troops. He was taken to Fortress Monroe, Virginia, and put in chains. Hang him, cried the northern newspapers. But Greeley's Tribune remained strangely silent. And now in his office, the great editor sits impatiently while his publisher quotes from one rival paper after another.
And listen to this. In the name of justice, we call for the speedy trial and subsequent hanging of Jefferson Davis as an arch-rebel and murderer. And here...
Yes, I've read them.
But they're outselling us by tens of thousands merely by parroting your words from the past. And you sit there and write nothing. You, of all people.
I never called Davis a murderer, Samuel. And there's not one bit of evidence to connect him with Lincoln's death. There never will be.
But at least he's a rebel and thus a traitor. Why, you were the first to call for his hanging. Why are you so silent now when at last he's in our hands?
Our chains, you mean?
What is it, Greeley? What's troubling you? You haven't been your old self not since... Well, come to think of it, not since you went down to Washington to see the president. You've never told me, Horace. What happened?
Nothing. He just looked... He looked tired. Terribly tired.
Oh?
Poor Abe. If he'd only lived. However, the Almighty must have had other plans. Samuel. Could it be?
Could what be? What are you talking about?
Could it be, Samuel, that I, Horace Greeley, am included in those other plans?
I still don't know what to...
Samuel, tell me. Why did I accept Lincoln's invitation last March after refusing him for years? Why? Tell me why.
Well, if you didn't know...
If I didn't know and I did not, then only the Almighty knew. And the Almighty knew something else, Samuel. He knew that Abe Lincoln's time on Earth was brief. And if I hadn't gone to Washington when I did... Yes, of course. Oh, Samuel, what a fool I've been not to have realized. John.
Realized what, Horace? I don't... yes, Mr.
Got
Greeley.
your pencil and paper?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Sit over there and take this down.
Yes, sir.
Editorial entitled, let me see. Entitled Magnanimity and Triumph. Were those his words? No matter, he'd want me to use them.
What are you up to, Horace?
Don't distract me, Samuel. Now take this down, John.
Yes, sir.
Earnestly, I speak out at this moment to plead against passions certain to be fierce and intolerant. I plead for humanity, for forgiveness,
of all who have trespassed against us.
Horace, this from you who wanted Davis hanged? What in the
Samuel,
world?
I'll thank you either to be quiet or to leave my office. Take this, John.
Yes, Mr. Greeley.
In a reunited nation, there can be no place for revenge, for malice, for injustice born in anger. The time has come when charity must replace bitterness, when the spirit of brotherhood must vanquish vindictiveness. And so at last I speak out to state that which I believe with all my heart. Jefferson Davis must be set free.
We return to our cavalcade play, One Nation Indivisible, starring Thomas Mitchell as Horace Greeley. Nearly 2 years have passed since the beginning of Horace Greeley's editorial crusade for magnanimity and triumph. But Jefferson Davis, as yet untried by any court, still remains a prisoner in Fortress Monroe, an insurmountable obstacle to the friendly reunion of North and South. And in his New York office, the great editor is once again closeted with his publisher.
Greeley, please, is there nothing else to write about?
You think it's wrong to crusade for charity and forgiveness?
No, of course not.
No.
But no one even reads you anymore, Horace. Why should they, when they've read it all 100 times before?
I don't know, Samuel. Perhaps you
It just isn't the time yet. The North isn't ready to forgive Davis and the others, and no amount of words will change their minds.
You know, I hate to admit it, but for once, Samuel, you may be right. Even I've grown weary of shouting at the deaf.
If you keep it up any longer, you might as well say goodbye to your hope of being the next senator from New York. Or have you already given it up?
No, in all honesty, I haven't. Well, I may be a fool, but I even think I have a chance for the presidency in 68.
You've a good chance, and you know it.
All right, Samuel. You win. Or does my ambition win? In any case, I will find something else to... Yes, boy, what is it?
Oh, there's a lady downstairs to see you, sir.
Well, get her name. Have her come back later.
I have her name, sir. It's Mrs. Jefferson Davis.
It was good of you to receive me, Mr. Greeley. Very few gentlemen in New York will.
And scarcely a gentleman, madam. In any case, the loss is theirs, not yours.
Why, thank you, sir. Oh, Mr. Greeley, it's such a pleasure to meet you, to sit here in this office where so many brave and wonderful words have been written in behalf of my husband.
Well, yes,
You're almost the only one you know, and certainly the most influential, who continue to speak out for Mr. Davis's release.
Madam,
We can never hope to repay you, I know, but at least...
Madam, please. There's something I must tell you.
Yes? What is it?
That is... I've had to come to the reluctant conclusion that I've been fighting for a hopeless cause.
Hopeless?
Yes.
Oh, no. No. Oh, Mr. Greeley, you can't give up.
For the time being, I must. Not from cowardice, but from plain common sense. I've converted all I can. Every word I write now merely means I make another enemy.
But, sir,
Please, madam, please. When the time comes and people are ready to listen, I shall...
Mr. Greeley, it's been 2 years now since my husband went to prison.
Yes, I know.
And still the government refuses to try him. Or to even let him speak or write in his own defense.
I know that, madam, but I've done all I can. Only President Johnson can release your husband.
I've seen the president, sir. Even he doesn't know when the trial will be.
Of course he doesn't. The government will never try him because it knows it can't convict him.
But is that right? Is that justice?
I have asked that same question 100 times, madam. Now, what more can I do?
Mr. Greeley, I asked the president if my husband couldn't possibly be released on bail. He said he might allow it, But only if I could find a group of distinguished Northerners who would be willing to go down to Richmond and sign Mr. Davis's bail bond.
That would get the president nicely off the hook.
And he said that you, Horace Greeley, would have to be one of them.
And put me right on it, huh?
Mr. Greeley, if only you could see my husband, you couldn't refuse me. You couldn't. It would break your heart to see him now. He's not even 60. But these last 2 terrible years in that frightful prison have... He's an old man now, Mr. Greeley. An old man. His hair is white. And his hands are so thin and wrinkled. And he's sick. Terribly sick. And he'll die, Mr. Greeley.
Mrs. Davis, I think I should tell you that your husband's welfare doesn't greatly concern me. I never laid eyes on the man. He was my bitter enemy for 4 long years.
How can you? I thought you were a kindly man.
Well, that's the least of my weaknesses, madam. And the little I have does not center on your husband, in or out of prison.
Oh, I see. I'm extremely sorry, sir, if I haven't taken up so much of your time. If you'll excuse me...
Madam, please sit down. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. I merely wish to make it perfectly clear to you that it's not from sentiment, madam, or soft-heartedness that I intend to sign your husband's bond.
What?
With me, it's
Mr. Greeley. Oh, Mr. Greeley.
It's solely and purely a matter of principle. As I've said, and I believe that before this nation can be reunited, Jefferson Davis must be set free. And so believing, I must sign his bond.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you. You don't know what this will mean for us.
Yes, I think I know. I even know what it will mean to me.
In a few days, the news of Horace Greeley's intentions had swept the nation. And the frankest expression of Northern opinion came from those closest to Greeley.
Greeley, we're your friends. And until now, you've been the principal power of our party.
Thaddeus, I'd rather...
A month ago, Horace, you told me privately that you expected to defeat General Grant for the coming nomination for president. Do you care to deny it?
Oh, ambition is hardly a shameful disease.
You no longer care, is that it?
Of course I care. Do you think I enjoy cutting my political throat?
Well, then why? Why?
Because I'm right.
We say you're wrong.
Of course you're wrong.
And not only wrong, but disloyal. Disloyal to our party. Disloyal to the North.
And worst of all, disloyal to those thousands of boys in blue who marched off to die with your words, your stirring words urging them on.
I was right then and I'm right now.
In whose judgment?
Mine and Lincoln's.
Lincoln's? You talk to him,
No,
do you?
no, I only listen. He speaks quite clearly, even now.
I see. And what does he say?
He says, Horace, control yourself. Resist temptation. Neither shoot these gentlemen nor kick them down the stairs, nor bother to reason with them. Merely tell them what they are. These little men with little hearts and little minds and hearts so tiny that there's no room in them for charity, for forgiveness, or for brotherhood. Remind them, too, that the war is over. The quarrel resolved. The tragedy finished. Explain to them.
All right, Greeley. Go to Richmond. But you'll go alone.
And without our signature.
I'll find others. There must be others. But find them or not, I shall go to Richmond.
Let the prisoner now be brought before this court.
In the crowded federal courtroom in Richmond, Virginia, All eyes turn from the judge into the door. Slowly a man enters. He looks old. His step is feeble. But he holds his head high, and his eyes are proud.
Mr. Jefferson Davis?
Yes, I am Jefferson Davis.
Mr. Davis, motion has been made that you be admitted to bail. The motion has been found acceptable, provided a group of citizens are willing to sign your bond. Is Mr. Horace Greeley present in the courtroom?
I am, Your Honor.
Will you step forward, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you willing to sign the prisoner's bond?
I am, Your Honor.
And are there any persons with you of similar willingness?
There are, Your Honor.
And their names?
I'll give you this list, sir. You see, there are 20 of them.
How many have gotten that many?
Are their qualifications suitable, Your Honor?
Considering that they are some of the most distinguished men in America, yes, I believe so, Mr. Greeley. The following gentlemen will please step to the desk of the clerk and there affix their names to the bail bond of the prisoner. Mr. Horace Greeley of New York, Mr. Cornelius Vanderbilt of New York, Mr. Garrett Smith of New York, Mr. Aristides Welch of Pennsylvania, Mr. Horace Clark, Mr. Benjamin Wood, Mr. Abraham Warwick.
One by one, the distinguished gentlemen from the North step forward.
William Lyon.
Each one adds his signature to the bail bond. And when all have signed, the greatest barrier to friendly reunion has been removed. Jefferson Davis is free.
Mr. Greeley?
Yes, boy?
Tell me, sir, is it true that in the courtroom you almost changed your mind about signing?
Changed my mind? No. Peculiar thing, though. Somehow I got the notion there was someone right behind me watching. Someone tall.
But, sir...
Yeah. I know. There was no one. Minds play tricks sometimes. It was just a notion, boy. Just a notion.
Horace Greeley was to pay a high price for this defiance of public opinion. His dream of high public office was forever shattered. And as an editor, he would never again regain his former influence. But in time, all America was to follow his example. And Lincoln's dream and Greeley's hope would come true. Soon America would be once again, for all time, one nation, indivisible. Thanks to Thomas Mitchell and the Cavalcade Players for tonight's story, One Nation, Indivisible. Tonight's DuPont Cavalcade was written by Warner Law. Original music was composed by Arden Cornwell, conducted by Donald Voorhees. The program was directed by John Zoller. With our star, Thomas Mitchell, you heard John Barclay as Lincoln, Alan Hewitt as Sinclair, Arnold Moss as Jefferson Davis, and Ann Seymour as Mrs. Davis. And this is Cy Harris, reminding you to be with us next week when the DuPont Cavalcade will present Away Borders, the story of one of the most daring maneuvers of naval history. Our star, Wendell Corey.
Ladies and gentlemen, for 18 years, the DuPont Cavalcade of America has brought to millions of radio listeners stories of the achievements of the men and women who have given us our American heritage. Now, the DuPont Company is bringing you Cavalcade on television. Watch the TV listings in your newspaper for Cavalcade of America TV in your locality. The DuPont Cavalcade of America came to you tonight from the Velasco Theater in New York City and is sponsored by the DuPont Company of Wilmington, Delaware, makers of better things for better living through chemistry.
Tonight, just for laughs, listen to Red Skelton on NBC.
The DuPont Company of Wilmington, Delaware, makers of better things for better living through chemistry, presents the Cavalcade of America. Tonight's star, Thomas Mitchell. Tonight's play, One Nation Indivisible.
He was a great newspaper editor, maker of presidents, an indomitable crusader. He proclaimed that he feared no member of mankind, and it was true. But equally true, though most often hidden, was the fact that he loved all mankind. He was Horace Greeley of the New York Tribune. The time, March 1865.
When you get back to the office, be sure the composer...
A hansom cab hurries over New York's cobblestone streets. Horace Greeley gives last-minute instructions to his office boy as he races to catch a train.
Mr. Greeley, you mean that President Lincoln has asked you to come to see him before, and you've said no?
Oh, for heaven's sake, boys, stop talking about Abe Lincoln as if he was some kind of a minor deity. A few years ago... Don't interrupt, boy. A few years ago, he was an unknown Illinois politician. It was largely my doing that he got to be president in the first place.
Your doing, sir?
Read about the Republican Convention in 1860. I didn't really want to give Lincoln the nomination, but it was the only way I could stop Seward.
But hasn't he made a good president, sir?
Well, he's only human. I've had to point out his mistakes from time to time. But yes, on the whole, I'd say he's been a good president.
But then why have you refused his invitation, sir?
Why? To keep my independence, boy, my freedom, to make up my own mind.
Well, why did you accept this invitation, sir?
Well, Yes, now that I give it a thought, I don't rightly know why I did say yes this time. That's peculiar. I don't rightly know why.
Oh, come in, Mr. Greeley, come in. Good to have you here at last.
Good day, Mr. Lincoln. How are you, sir?
Have I changed so much, my friend?
Well, it's been 4 years. I imagine we both changed a little.
Yes, I imagine so. Greeley, I asked you down here for one reason.
Yes?
Soon this terrible war will be over, and we'll be one nation once again. But what kind of a nation?
I'm not sure I understand you, sir.
We took up arms for one reason, to preserve the Union. And with victory, it will have been restored, at least geographically and legally. But otherwise, I'm greatly afraid the breach will be wider than ever. Even before the last Confederate flag's lowered, there'll be an outcry from the North for, well, it'll be called justice. In this case, the more proper term is revenge. And revenge can breed only bitterness, and bitterness only more revenge. It's a frightful, endless process, Greeley. We've got to try to stop it before it begins.
We, Mr. President?
I hope so, Greeley. Because I seem to remember a rhyme. What's Greeley's opinion on Monday is public opinion by Sunday. When you became an abolitionist, millions followed you. When you called for the hanging of Jeff Davis, well, it's said that 10,000 men enlisted the sooner to gratify your desire in the matter.
And now, sir, you'd have me reverse myself, swallow my own words?
They were words for war, and they helped us to win. But they're not words which will contribute to a fruitful peace.
But what about Jeff Davis, sir? What will happen to him?
Privately, I hope he never falls into our
A
hands.
good many Northerners believe that he's a rebel, that he should be tried for treason.
To what end, Greeley? So North and South can fight the war all over again in a courtroom.
Jefferson Davis should not be punished?
No. Let history judge him. For us, we have a peace to win. Help us, Horace, please. Use that tremendous power of yours for charity, for magnanimity and triumph.
With all respect, sir, that which you call my power derives solely from my independence.
And something else, Horace. Your integrity. I thank heaven for it. There are already too few men in this world on whose integrity I'd stake my life.
Thank you, sir. Profoundly. And I shall consider what you've said to me before taking a stand.
It's mid-April now. Lee has surrendered. Richmond has fallen. The Confederate capital changes almost from day to day as the small party of officials, led by President Jefferson Davis, moves southward. Today, in a small house in Charlotte, North Carolina, Jefferson Davis awakens to the knock of his private secretary.
Mr. President, it's Harrison, sir.
Come in. Good morning, Harrison.
Morning, sir.
What time is it?
Well, it's only 6, sir. But we have a dispatch from General Johnston marked urgent. I thought you'd wish to be awakened.
Quite right, Harrison. Is this it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, no. Good heavens.
More terrible news, sir?
Yes. Here, read it.
President Lincoln was shot by an unknown assassin at Ford's Theater night of 14. No. Died morning of 50. I'm sorry, sir.
Lincoln murdered.
You know what this means, sir?
It means that we've lost our noblest and best friend in the court of the enemy. For the North, it's a tragedy. And for us, it's a disaster.
It also means that you must start west immediately, sir, and try to get across the Mississippi.
Why?
You won't be safe now, sir. It's quite possible you'll be blamed for this terrible crime.
What? Blame me for Lincoln's murder? Oh, no, surely not. Whatever the North thinks of me, they can't believe me capable of inspiring such a foul and frightful crime. No, Harrison. I don't believe it.
$100,000 reward, said the poster, for the arrest of Jefferson Davis, wanted for complicity in the atrocious murder of Abraham Lincoln. A week later, Jefferson Davis was captured by federal troops. He was taken to Fortress Monroe, Virginia, and put in chains. Hang him, cried the Northern newspapers. But Greeley's Tribune remained strangely silent. And now in his office, the great editor sits impatiently while his publisher quotes from one rival paper after another.
And listen to this. In the name of justice, we call for the speedy trial and subsequent hanging of Jefferson Davis as an arch-rebel and murderer. And here...
Yes, I've read them.
But they're outselling us by tens of thousands merely by parroting your words from the past. And you sit there and write nothing. You, of all people.
I never called Davis a murderer, Samuel. And there's not one bit of evidence to connect him with Lincoln's death. There never will be.
But at least he's a rebel and thus a traitor. Why, you were the first to call for his hanging. Why are you so silent now when at last he's in our hands?
Our change, you mean?
What is it, Greeley? What's troubling you? You haven't been your old self not since... Well, come to think of it, not since you went down to Washington to see the president. You've never told me, Horace. What happened?
Nothing. He just looked... He looked tired. Terribly tired.
Oh?
Poor Abe. If he'd only lived. However, the Almighty must have had other plans. Samuel. Could it be?
Could what be? What are you talking about?
Could it be, Samuel, that I, Horace Greeley, am included in those other plans?
I still don't know what to...
Samuel, tell me. Why did I accept Lincoln's invitation last March after refusing him for years? Why? Tell me why.
Well, if you didn't know...
If I didn't know and I did not, then only the Almighty knew.
And the Almighty knew something else, Samuel. He knew that Abe Lincoln's time on Earth was brief. And if I hadn't gone to Washington when I did... Yes, of course. Oh, Samuel, what a fool I've been not to have realized. John.
Realized what, Horace? I don't... yes, Mr.
Got
Greeley.
your pencil and paper?
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Sit over there and take this down.
Yes, sir.
Editorial entitled, let me see. Entitled Magnanimity and Triumph. Were those his words? No matter, he'd want me to use them.
What are you up to, Horace?
Don't distract me, Samuel. Now take this down, John.
Yes, sir.
Earnestly, I speak out at this moment to plead against passions certain to be fierce and intolerant. I plead for humanity, for forgiveness of all who have trespassed against us.
Horace, this from you who wanted Davis hanged? What in the
Samuel,
world?
I'll thank you either to be quiet or to leave my office. Take this, John.
Yes, Mr. Greeley.
In a reunited nation, there can be no place for revenge, for malice, for injustice born in anger. The time has come when charity must replace bitterness, when the spirit of brotherhood must vanquish vindictiveness. And so at last I speak out to state that which I believe with all my heart. Jefferson Davis must be set free.
We return to our cavalcade play, One Nation Indivisible, starring Thomas Mitchell as Horace Greeley. Nearly 2 years have passed since the beginning of Horace Greeley's editorial crusade for magnanimity and triumph. But Jefferson Davis, as yet untried by any court, still remains a prisoner in Fortress Monroe, an insurmountable obstacle to the friendly reunion of North and South. And in his New York office, the great editor is once again closeted with his publisher.
Greeley, please, is there nothing else to write about?
You think it's wrong to crusade for charity and forgiveness?
No, of course not.
No.
But no one even reads you anymore, Horace. Why should they, when they've read it all 100 times before?
I don't know, Samuel. Perhaps
It just isn't the time yet. The North isn't ready to forgive Davis and the others, and no amount of words will change their minds.
You know, I hate to admit it, but for once, Samuel, you may be right. Even I've grown weary of shouting at the deaf.
If you keep it up any longer, you might as well say goodbye to your hope of being the next senator from New York. Or have you already given it up?
No, in all honesty, I haven't. Well, I may be a fool, but I even think I have a chance for the presidency in 68.
You've a good chance, and you know it.
All right, Samuel. You win. Or does my ambition win? In any case, I will find something else to... Yes, boy, what is it?
Oh, there's a lady downstairs to see you, sir.
Well, get her name. Have her come back later.
I have her name, sir. It's Mrs. Jefferson Davis.
It was good of you to receive me, Mr. Greeley. Very few gentlemen in New York will.
And scarcely a gentleman, madam. In any case, the loss is theirs, not yours.
Why, thank you, sir. Oh, Mr. Greeley, it's such a pleasure to meet you, to sit here in this office where so many brave and wonderful words have been written in behalf of my husband.
Well, yes,
You're almost the only one, you know, and certainly the most influential, who continue to speak out for Mr. Davis's release.
Madam,
We can never hope to repay you, I know, but at least...
Madam, please. There's something I must tell you.
Yes? What is it?
That is... I've had to come to the reluctant conclusion that I've been fighting for a hopeless cause.
Hopeless?
Yes.
Oh, no. No. Oh, Mr. Greeley, you can't give up.
For the time being, I must. Not from cowardice, but from plain common sense. I've converted all I can. Every word I write now merely means I make another enemy.
Sir,
Please,
Oh,
madam,
Mr.
please. When the time comes and people are ready to listen, I shall...
Mr. Greeley, it's been 2 years now since my husband went to prison.
Yes, I know.
And still the government refuses to try him or to even let him speak or write in his own defense.
But I know that, madam, but I've done all I can. Only President Johnson can release your husband.
I've seen the president, sir. Even he doesn't know when the trial will be.
Of course he doesn't. The government will never try him because it knows it can't convict him.
But is that right? Is that justice?
I have asked that same question 100 times, madam. Now, what more can I do?
Mr. Greeley, I asked the president if my husband couldn't possibly be released on bail. He said he might allow it, but only if I could find a group of distinguished Northerners who would be willing to go down to Richmond and sign Mr. Davis's bail bond.
That would get the president nicely off the hook.
And he said that you, Horace Greeley, would have to be one of them.
And put me right on it, huh?
Mr. Greeley, if only you could see my husband, you couldn't refuse me. You couldn't. It would break your heart to see him now. He's not even 60. But these last 2 terrible years in that frightful prison, he's an old man now, Mr. Greeley. An old man. His hair is white. And his hands are so thin and wrinkled. And he's sick. Terribly sick. And he'll die, Mr. Greeley.
Mrs. Davis, I think I should tell you that your husband's welfare doesn't greatly concern me. I never laid eyes on the man. He was my bitter enemy for 4 long years.
How can you? I thought you were a kindly man.
Well, that's the least of my weaknesses, madam. And the little I have does not center on your husband, in or out of prison.
Oh, I see. I'm extremely sorry, sir, if I haven't taken up so much of your time. If you'll excuse me...
Madam, please sit down. If I've offended you, I'm sorry. I merely wish to make it perfectly clear to you that it's not from sentiment, madam, or soft-heartedness that I intend to sign your husband's bond.
What?
With me, it's
Oh, Mr. Greeley. Oh, Mr. Greeley.
It's solely and purely a matter of principle. As I've said, and I believe that before this nation can be reunited, Jefferson Davis must be set free. And so believing, I must sign his bond.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you. You don't know what this will mean for us.
Yes, I think I know. I even know what it will mean to me.
In a few days, the news of Horace Greeley's intentions had swept the nation. And the frankest expression of Northern opinion came from those closest to Greeley.
Greeley, we're your friends. And until now, you've been the principal power of our party.
Thaddeus, I'd rather...
A month ago, Horace, you told me privately that you expected to defeat General Grant for the coming nomination for president. Do you care to deny it?
Oh, ambition is hardly a shameful disease.
You no longer care, is that it?
Of course I care. Do you think I enjoy cutting my political throat?
Well, then why? Why?
Because I'm right.
We say you're wrong.
Of course you're wrong.
And not only wrong, but disloyal. Disloyal to our party. Disloyal to the North.
And worst of all, disloyal to those thousands of boys in blue who marched off to die with your words, your stirring words urging them on.
I was right then and I'm right now.
In whose judgment?
Mine and Lincoln's.
Lincoln's? You talk to him, do you?
No, I only listen. He speaks quite clearly, even now.
I see. And what does he say?
He says, Horace, control yourself. Resist temptation. Neither shoot these gentlemen nor kick them down the stairs, nor bother to reason with them. Merely tell them what they are. These little men with little hearts and little minds and hearts so tiny that there's no room in them for charity, for forgiveness, or for brotherhood. Remind them, too, that the war is over. The quarrel resolved. The tragedy finished. Explain to them.
All right, Greeley. Go to Richmond. But you'll go alone.
And without our signature.
I'll find others. There must be others. But find them or not, I shall go to Richmond.
Let the prisoner now be brought before this court.
In the crowded federal courtroom in Richmond, Virginia, all eyes turn from the judge into the door. Slowly a man enters. He looks old. His step is feeble. But he holds his head high, and his eyes are proud.
Mr. Jefferson Davis?
Yes, I am Jefferson Davis.
Mr. Davis, motion has been made that you be admitted to bail. The motion has been found acceptable, provided a group of citizens are willing to sign your bond. Is Mr. Horace Greeley present in the courtroom?
I am, Your Honor.
Will you step forward, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you willing to sign the prisoner's bond?
I am, Your Honor.
And are there any persons with you of similar willingness?
There are, Your Honor.
And their names?
I'll give you this list, sir. You see, there are 20 of them.
How could he have gotten that many?
Are their qualifications suitable, Your Honor?
Considering that they are some of the most distinguished men in America, yes, I believe so, Mr. Greeley. The following gentlemen will please step to the desk of the clerk and there affix their names to the bail bond of the prisoner. Mr. Horace Greeley of New York, Mr. Cornelius Vanderbilt of New York, Mr. Gerrit Smith of New York, Mr. Aristides Welch of Pennsylvania, Mr. Horace Clark, Mr. Benjamin Wood, Mr. Abraham Warwick.
One by one, the distinguished gentlemen from the North step forward.
William Lyons.
Each one adds his signature to the bail bond. And when all have signed, the greatest barrier to friendly reunion has been removed. Jefferson Davis is free.
Mr. Greeley?
Yes, boy?
Tell me, sir, is it true that in the courtroom you almost changed your mind about signing?
Changed my mind? No. Peculiar thing, though. Somehow I got the notion there was someone right behind me watching. Someone tall.
But, sir...
Yeah. I know. That was no one. Minds play tricks sometimes. It was just a notion, boy. Just a notion.
Horace Greeley was to pay a high price for this defiance of public opinion. His dream of high public office was forever shattered. And as an editor, he would never again regain his former influence. But in time, all America was to follow his example. And Lincoln's dream and Greeley's hope would come true. Soon America would be once again, for all time, one nation, indivisible.
thanks to Thomas Mitchell and the Cavalcade Players for tonight's story, One Nation Indivisible. Tonight's DuPont Cavalcade was written by Warner Law. Original music was composed by Arden Cornwell, conducted by Donald Voorhees. The program was directed by John Zoller. With our star, Thomas Mitchell, you heard John Barclay as Lincoln, Alan Hewitt as Sinclair, Arnold Moss as Jefferson Davis, and Ann Seymour as Mrs. Davis. And this is Cy Harris, reminding you to be with us next week when the DuPont Cavalcade will present Away Borders, the story of one of the most daring maneuvers of naval history. Our star, Wendell Corey. Ladies and gentlemen, for 18 years, the DuPont Cavalcade of America has brought to millions of radio listeners stories of the achievements of the men and women who have given us our American heritage. Now, the DuPont Company is bringing you Cavalcade on television. Watch the TV listings in your newspaper for Cavalcade of America TV in your locality. The DuPont Cavalcade of America came to you tonight from the Belasco Theater in New York City and is sponsored by the DuPont Company of Wilmington, Delaware, makers of better things for better living through chemistry.
Tonight, just for laughs, listen to Red Skelton on NBC.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, it's Thanksgiving in the little town, and Lum, who has been a traditional Thanksgiving Day guest of the Peabodys, suddenly finds himself with no dinner invitation, inasmuch as Abner and his wife are out of town this year. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum at his home, engaged in a purposeful telephone conversation. Listen.
Well, I reckon we're all set to start carving a big turkey over there at your place, huh, Tom? How's that? Oh, you've done it, huh? Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I just called up to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, Tom. And give my best to the missus and all your... I gotta hang up, Tom. Somebody's at the door. Yeah, I'll see you later. So long. Come in.
Hey, anybody home?
Oh, how do you do, Phinus? Come on in.
Oh, yes, hello, boy. I just thought I'd stop in and say hello. I'm on my way over to the Quincy's.
Over to the Quincy's?
Yeah, I'm taking Thanksgiving dinner with them.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. I think Abner sort of fixed it up for me.
He did, huh?
Yeah, as long as him and Elizabeth was going to be out of town this Thanksgiving, I think he sort of headed around to Miss Quincy that I was going to be all alone.
Oh, well, I'm sure Mrs. Quincy would have invited you to dinner without anybody having to hint around to her.
Oh, yeah, she's a good woman. Yes, she is, Lum. Salty, too, yes. Yeah, but I know Abner did talk to her. Fact is, I heard him.
Oh, you did? He didn't say nothing about inviting somebody else over there, did he?
Who do you mean, Lum?
Oh, nobody.
I didn't know whether I'd catch you home today or not, Lum. I thought surely you'd be on your way to somebody's house for dinner by now.
Yeah, I sort of thought so myself.
Yeah, Thanksgiving ain't Thanksgiving without eating with some... whose house are you going to, Lum?
Well, I don't know, Phinus. Just got so many invites here, I don't know which one of them to accept.
Uh-huh.
You know how hard it is to decide them things.
Yeah.
Always feared you hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, that's right.
By the way, is anybody besides you going over to the Quincy's, do you know?
Why, no, not that I know of, Lum. I didn't, why'd you want to know that for?
Oh, no reason at all. They've got a pretty good-sized supper table over there at the Quincy's place, ain't they?
Yeah, I believe it is. I don't recollect, though.
And there ain't going to be many sitting around it, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Just Ulysses and his woman and the young'un more than
and me.
And you.
Yeah.
And you folks are going to be kind of lonesome sitting around that big table all by yourselves, ain't you?
Oh, I don't believe so, Lum. We'll be so busy eating we won't have time to talk always.
Yeah, that's right.
Granny's Lum, by the size of that turkey they got, we're liable to be eating for a couple of days.
They got a big turkey.
Oh, it would feed a whole army. The biggest turkey I ever seen. And, you should see that.
Be a shame to let all that go to waste, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, with just 4 of you there to eat it, and one of you is just a half-grown kid of a boy.
Oh, we'll manage somehow, though.
Yeah, I know, but trouble of it is...
I'll say one thing for myself, Lum. I can eat. Especially when I set my mind to it. And I'm
but you want to recollect your manners there now, Phinus. You don't want to make a gluten out of yourself.
Oh, well, I won't...
Be nice if there's somebody there that could sort of remind you about your manners. You might take somebody along with you to do that.
Huh?
Like, say, some friend of yours. Or some good friend of your son's, Abner.
Well, let's see. Who could I take along?
I might be able to make a good suggestion.
About the only feller I can think of is you and...
Yeah, who did you say?
I said you. Yeah, but you've got so many invites already, you don't know which one to take, so
Well, of course now. I ain't promised nobody definite.
I'd love to try to talk you into this, but I know it ain't no use if you...
Well, go ahead and try anyway.
Huh?
I'm an awful easy man to talk into things.
Well... I wouldn't feel right having you give up all them other invites just to help me out, Lum.
Well, I'm proud to do it, as far as that goes.
No, I wouldn't think of it.
You know, Phinus, I was just thinking.
Huh?
Everybody ought to observe today in the same spirit as they done back there on the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
See, the Pilgrim Fathers got up this big supper and shared it with the Indians. Wait a minute, there's somebody else at the door. Come in.
Well, I better be running along.
Oh, what a beauty day. What a beauty day.
Oh, hello there, Cedric, my boy.
Boy, have I been eating. Boy, look at my belt. Last night.
Yes,
Have you ate already, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, I sure have. Never ate so much in my whole life, I don't believe.
Well, I'm going to be doing the same thing pretty soon, Cedric. I can hardly wait to get over there.
Boy, I'm just plumb stuffed. Do you know what all we had today, Mr. Lum?
Well, if you don't mind, Cedric, I'd just as lief you didn't tell me.
Had a stack of mashed potatoes about a mile high, all covered with the best gravy you ever tasted.
Cedric, don't bother to tell me about it.
Surely was good.
Yeah, that sure sounds... did you have cranberries, Cedric?
Oh, yes, Mom. Forgot about that. Cranberries and turkey dressing and pumpkin pie with whipped cream on it.
Cedric, stop that.
Yeah, Cedric, I wish you'd hush. You're making my mouth water, Cedric. I'd better be getting on over to Ulysses' house right now. I'll see you fellas later.
Oh, well, wait a minute, Phinus. Don't leave right yet.
Oh, to be going, though.
Well, wait just a second, though.
I'm hungry, huh?
What do you say me and you call up old Ulysses?
Call him up? What for?
Oh, I don't know. Just to talk to him. Say Happy Thanksgiving to him.
Well, I'm going to see him in about... I want to talk to him on with you.
Well, it might be fun, though.
I want to see him.
I'd hate for Ulysses to be lonesome on a holiday like this. When you're talking to him, Phinus, you might work my name into the conversation somehow. Might mention you seen me sitting around my place not doing nothing in particular.
But I don't want to talk to him, eh? Anything I've got to say to him can wait till I get over there.
Hello, Ulysses.
Hi.
Wait a minute. A friend of yours here wants to talk to you. Here, Phinus, take the receiver.
I don't want to talk to him. I'll be standing.
Well, what'd you call him for, then?
I never called him.
Here, Cedric, you talk to him. Tell him I'm just sitting around here, sort of.
Well, I can't talk to nobody, Mr. Lum. I'm too full. Boy, that was a good meal.
And it looks like I'll have to talk to him myself. Hello, Ulysses. This is Lum Edders. Yeah. Oh, just only tolerably. Just called up to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh, not at all. I suppose you're getting ready to carve up a big turkey. Yeah. You know, Ulysses, I was just thinking we ought to get back into the spirit of the first Thanksgiving. Yeah. No, I mean one a long time ago. One way back in or a long time ago. Yeah, you see, the Pilgrim Fathers shared their dinner with their friends and Indians. And how's that? Oh, I see. All right, then. Goodbye.
What happened to him? Why did he quit talking for?
Oh, he had to hang up. Some Indians some relays of his just come in unexpected.
Oh, well, by thunder, I better be getting over there before I lose my place.
Well, I had a piece of mince pie, too. Forgot about that. Bigger than the pumpkin pie.
So long, Lum. Goodbye, Cedric. Don't
Wish somebody had told me that. All that whipped cream and everything.
Cedric, do you have to just sit there and keep talking about that?
Mom?
Granny, I wonder if the red peels have had yet. Maybe I ought to call good old Charlie up. I ain't talked to him for quite a spell. Just do that.
How come you're calling up everybody today, Mr. Long?
Oh, I don't know. I just like to talk to my friends is all. Just getting into the spirit of the holiday. It's only natural for a feller like me to spread the holiday cheer. Hello, Charlie, old boy. Yeah, this is old Lum. Oh, just only tolerably. Well, thank you, and the same to you. You know, Charlie, I just been sitting here thinking about the Pilgrim Fathers. Pilgrim Fathers, I said. Yeah, how they used to share their dinner and all that stuff. I suppose you're getting ready to carve up a big turkey. Huh? Oh. How was it? Well, I'll be seeing you around, Charlie. Goodbye.
I think the Redfields have done it their dinner.
I know they have. Let's see now. I wonder if the sea strumpses have had yet.
Oh, yes, Mom, they've done it.
Well, that illuminates them. Let's see now.
Oh, I know they have, because that's where I ate.
Might call up. Huh? You mean you had over to sea strumpses today?
Yes, Mom. Clarabelle invited me and Gomer over there. I ate at the second table.
I always thought you took Thanksgiving dinner at home, Cedric.
Well, I'm going to. See, we're going to have our dinner tonight.
You are? Are you going to have many relays over there?
No, Mom. Don't think so. Just Papa and Mama and me, my little brother.
Well, what do you know about that? Cedric, my boy, sit down here. I want to tell you all about the Pilgrim Fathers. It seems that way back in the year 16, a long time ago, the Pilgrim Fathers always invited their friends and Indians to take Thanksgiving dinner with them. They always had a big turkey and sat around and smoked a pipe apiece. And wait a minute, Cedric, whereabouts you going?
That's a good idea. I think I'll go out and invite some Indians.
For the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Lever Brothers Company presents the Pepsodent Show, My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard and starring Marie Wilson as Irma with Joan Banks as Jane.
Friendship, friendship, just perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
You know, when a girl is beautiful, like my roommate, Irma Peterson, it's all pretty wonderful. She has a lovely figure, gorgeous blonde hair, and a face that fairly takes your breath away. People wonder why it doesn't go to her head. I'll tell you why, because there it would die of malnutrition. Oh, now, don't get me wrong, I love the girl. It's only that sometimes she does things that give me a groan in the dome. For instance, the other day I was reading the paper, and I said, Irma. Yes, Jane? It says here that our shoreline is receding at the rate of 1 inch every 1,000 years.
Gee, that's wonderful. I can hardly wait to go bathing on Fifth Avenue.
Well, it takes all kinds of people to make a world. But right now, I'm too excited to even think about it. You see, I've just received a letter from Richard Rhinelander, my ex-employer, and still the #1 guy in my dreams.
Jane?
Yes, sweetie.
Who's the letter from?
It's from Richard.
Richard? Oh, Jane, what does he say?
I'll read it to you. Dear Jane.
Dear Jane? Oh, he loves you.
What makes you say that?
Because he said dear.
Irma, for your information, at income tax time, I got a letter from the government saying, Dear Miss Stacy, and believe me, the Treasury Department and I are not engaged.
Well, you can't go around with everybody. What else did he right.
Dear Jane, I am basking in the sun at the Rossmore Hotel in Palm Springs. I will be back in New York for Thanksgiving, and I am bringing you a Mexican serape.
Oh, gosh, he's adopted a baby.
Irma, a serape is a blanket. He simply mentioned the gift to show that he's thinking about me. Isn't that sweet?
Yes, men can be so sweet when they're far away. Of course, I like them close, too. You can take all the blankets you want. I'll take Al in person.
Oh, be still, Irma. Hey, I've got an idea. Since Richard will be back on Thanksgiving, let's you and I give a turkey dinner here in the apartment for our boyfriends.
Oh, that'll be wonderful, Jane. And I'm sure Al will have the day off because it's a legal holiday and the unemployment office will be closed.
Grand. Now, look, Irma, it's very important that we don't say anything about this to Mrs. O'Reilly and the professor. It's been a long time since I've seen Richard, and I don't want it spoiled by their constant quarreling. So remember now, not a word.
Oh, I understand, Jane. I won't mention the word turkey once.
Good.
I'll just say we're having chicken.
No, Irma, just don't say anything about Thanksgiving. Is that clear?
Well, of course, Jane.
Come in.
Hello, girls.
Oh, hello, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas? Why, Irma, darling, Thanksgiving isn't here yet.
Uh-oh, the cat's out of the bag.
Irma.
Oh, we're not having any turkey, you know.
How is everything with you, Mrs. O'Reilly?
Not so good, Janie. It's that Professor Kropotkin again. He left another one of his insulting notes on my door. Just listen to this. When I look into your eyes, my heart does flip-ups.
Well, I think that's a beautiful thought.
That's what I thought until I read the rest of it. Look what comes next. That's because you have a face that scares away me hiccups.
Well, you know the professor. He doesn't mean anything by it.
I don't know about that, Janie. The other day he took me to an antique show, and I was having a wonderful time bidding on an early American copper bathtub. And all of a sudden the professor began to laugh.
What was so funny?
He said it was the first time he'd ever seen one tub bidding on another tub.
Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. Hello, Janie, Irma, and Mrs. O'Reilly. My three little birds. Janie, graceful like a swan.
Why, thank you, Professor.
And Irma, a little lovebird.
Oh, Professor, that's sweet.
And you, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Yes, Professor?
Old bat.
You'll be a dead duck before I get through with you.
No, take it easy, Mrs. O'Reilly. I was only joking. No, to me, you are really an inspiration.
Why, Professor?
No, it's true. It's true. Seeing you here in the half-light with your beautiful red hair brings to mind my first romance. Her name was Sonia. Every evening I would find her by the lake with her faithful collie. And this is why every time I see you standing like this, I want to call out and say, "Here over, here over."
Why, you mangy old musician.
Please, the two of you. Don't you ever know when to call it quits?
I'm sorry, Janie. Mrs. O'Reilly, I apologize.
Well, I should think you would. I try so hard to be friendly with everyone. After all, it'll soon be Thanksgiving.
Yes?
And if you say I look like a turkey, I'll beat your brains out.
Oh, turkey, that reminds me.
Irma.
Reminds you of what, dearie?
Well, you see,
It reminds her of the 4th of July.
4th of July?
Yes, if you open your mouth, there'll be fireworks.
Well, I, for one, have made no plans for Thanksgiving. But as far back as I can remember, I've always been invited to a turkey dinner.
Is that so? Tell me, Mrs. O'Reilly, I've always wanted to know, was Miles Standish a big eater?
Well, as a matter of fact, he was... Now, look here, you...
Oh, Mrs. O'Reilly, I'm sure we'll all have a place to go on Thanksgiving.
I never worry about it, Janie. You see, Thanksgiving is so near the first of the year, and everyone wants to renew their lease. So I always get invited to dinner.
Yeah, I got throat trouble, too.
And I'm sure my best friends won't forget me.
Miss O'Reilly, you're priceless. Come on, we'll take a walk over to the automobile showrooms. I want you should stand alongside of a new Nash so I can make a comparison.
Oh, I know what you mean, Professor. We're both so streamlined.
Yes, and you're both seat 4 in the front.
Why, you...
Well, that was a bit of a hint, wasn't it, Irma?
Oh, yes, Jane. What are we going to do?
Nothing. We'll just go ahead with the dinner as we planned. After all, we're 2 young girls with beaux, and we're entitled to a little pleasure.
Certainly, we're not married.
Well, personally, I don't think the professor minds not being invited too much, but as for Mrs. O'Reilly, well, she is our landlady, and we've got to stay on the right side of her. So again, Irma, let me remind you, we do nothing to arouse her suspicion.
Oh, you can trust me, Jane. I won't breathe it to a living soul or any of my other friends.
Good. And look, honey, I've got to hurry to keep an appointment with the dentist, so would you mind going to the butcher's and ordering the turkey now so we'll have a good bird?
Oh, I'll be glad to, Jane.
Fine. See you later, sweetie.
Hello? What's that you say? My multiple theory on atomic fission works. Oh, that's nice. Who's it working for? Huh? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This isn't Einstein. My name is Peterson. You have the wrong number. But talking about fishing, if you ever want to go fishing, I'll be glad to go. Goodbye. Gee, now I know how Barbara Stanwyck felt, and sorry, wrong number. Come in.
Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey. Al, do you have any plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, to tell you the truth, chicken, I did plan on taking you out to dinner. But got a last-minute phone call which makes it necessary for me to be out of town Thanksgiving.
Oh, Al. Jane and I are having a big turkey dinner here, and you're invited. Now you can't make it.
Oh, you're wrong, chicken. Just happened to remember they took my phone out just before the call came through.
Al, you're always making sacrifices for me.
Glad to help you, chicken.
Oh, Jane wants me to go right out and order the turkey.
Yeah, chicken, are you and Jane going to have all the trimmings? You know, cranberries, sweet potatoes, stuffing, celery, olives?
Oh, sure, Al.
Well, in that case, I want to chip in.
Oh, Al, it won't be necessary.
No, I insist.
Well, all right, Al, if it'll make you feel any better. What would you like to bring?
Well, let's see. Yeah, I could bring flowers. Might give you hay fever. No point in bringing more candy. Just bought you a pack of Lifesavers last week. Champagne? Caviar? I got it. For them olives you're buying, you'll need toothpicks. Count on me for that.
Oh, no, Al. This is all on us. We want to catch the full spirit of the holiday. Al.
What, chicken?
How did they get the idea of having turkey on Thanksgiving?
Glad you come to me for knowledge, chicken, because I'm loaded with it. See, Thanksgiving originated with a bunch of pilgrims who came to America, led by some very famous men, such as William Penn, Buffalo Bill, and Wild Bill Hickok.
Hickok? Oh, I know. He's the man who invented the suspenders.
Precisely. Now, the Pilgrims really had a tough winter. There was a housing shortage, manufacturing was at a standstill, and everybody was really beaten out of work. So naturally, they thought they had something to be thankful for, so they decided to give a feast.
Oh, I see.
Now, the big delicacy in them days was bear meat. So they sent an Indian guide out to trap a bear. Unfortunately, this guide was nearsighted, and by mistake, he come back with a turkey.
Well, imagine that.
Yeah. And to this day, if it wasn't for that slight defect in Hiawatha's vision, we'd all be sitting down to a Thanksgiving dinner of stuffed bear.
Oh, gee, that would have been perfect for our dinner. Then we could all have a drumstick.
Well, them's the breaks. Come on, chicken, I'll walk you downstairs.
Is that you, Irma, Hello, Mrs. O'Reilly. Well, you look awfully upset. Is anything wrong?
Yes. I've just told the Martins upstairs that I have a rule. No pets of any kind in this house.
Yes, I know how strict you are about that.
Well, I just found out they have a canary, and either that bird goes or they go. I'm going right back up there and give them 5 minutes to make up their mind.
Hello? Oh, Richard, how nice of you to call me long distance. Yes, I got your letter. What? Oh, Richard. Oh, no. Oh, murder. Richard, what? I sound crazy? I'm going crazy. I can't talk to you right now. Irma just walked in with a live turkey. Goodbye.
Merry Thanksgiving, Jane.
Irma Peterson, how could you bring home a live turkey?
Well, Jane, I was only trying to save money.
What do you mean, save money?
Well, I felt this one, and it's already stuffed.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Take that turkey back.
Oh, I can't, Jane. The butcher said he won't take George back.
George?
Yes, that's his name.
How do you know?
Well, the butcher said, do you really want this turkey? When I said yes, he said, well, by George. So I did.
Your winning smile is a Pepsodent smile. Again and again, people have found it true. The smile that wins is the Pepsodent smile.
The story of Nancy Rule proves it. Her smile won success in the fabulous world of fashion. From Kentucky's Center College, Nancy went to Chicago to begin her career in a department store. There she won promotions and a husband. Now she's fashion stylist for their own store in Freeport, Illinois. When Nancy presents costumes she's chosen at New York's glittering style previews, her winning smile is an important asset. Nancy said,
"It's a Pepsodent smile. I've used Pepsodent toothpaste ever since I was in college. I love the way it brightens my teeth."
Like Nancy Rule, people all over America have found the smile that wins is the Pepsodent smile. In recent comparison tests, thousands of people preferred Pepsodent with Irium over the brands they've been using at home. Yes, Pepsodent won by the overwhelming average of 3-1 for its cool, minty taste, for making breath cleaner and teeth brighter. Try a new Pepsodent toothpaste with Irium, and you will see the smile that wins is the Pepsodent smile.
Let's pause here on KRLD.
To find out more about old-time radio, old-time video, and the pleasures of listening to audiobooks, visit the Audiobook Club website, www.audiobookclub.com, where you can get 4 audiobooks for just 1 penny.
MediaBay.com.
Stay tuned. In our next hour, I'll have the conclusion to My Friend Irma, plus an exciting episode of Richard Diamond, Private Detective, here on KRLD.
MediaBay.com.
Welcome back to the Radio Hall of Fame on KRLD News Radio 1080. I'm Carl Amari. Now for the conclusion to My Friend Irma.
Well, I sent my roommate out to buy a turkey. It's funny, I always thought her name was Irma Peterson, but it's turned out to be Frank Buck because she had to bring it back alive. She's standing in the doorway with the turkey in her arms. She is looking at the turkey, and the turkey is looking at her, and I'm looking at both of them, and I don't know which head to cut off. Irma Irma, what in the world made you buy a live turkey?
Well, you didn't specify, Jane, and he looks so lonely.
But, sweetie, you know Mrs. O'Reilly doesn't allow pets of any sort in the apartment. What will we tell her? She'll throw us out.
Well, we could have cut a hole in the wall and let the turkey's head stick through and tell her we shot it in Africa.
Irma, before I shoot myself, let me make one thing clear. There is still a great housing shortage. If Mrs. O'Reilly finds out we're not inviting her to Thanksgiving dinner and then finds out we have a live turkey in the apartment, all three of us can take a boat to Africa.
Oh, no, Jane, if we're going to take a trip, I'd rather get you on a slow boat to China.
Irma, this is no time for joking. We're in trouble.
Well, now, let's see. Gosh, there must be some way of fooling Miss O'Reilly. I have it. I just bought a new hat, and maybe I can train the bird to sit on it, and I can say it came that way.
No, sweetie, it's liable to lay an egg, and we wouldn't be able to tell it from your head. Oh, nobody but you would bring home a turkey by the name of George.
Oh, see, Jane, isn't he cute? He knows his name.
Look, Irma, I'm not going to waste any more words. There's only one thing for us to do. You'll have to kill it.
Kill George? Oh, Jane, I can't.
Why not?
Would make him an orphan. I mean, I've grown very fond of him.
Oh, for goodness sakes, that's ridiculous.
You see, he just called me Mother. Oh, Jane, I couldn't do it.
Oh, stop dramatizing it. It's not that difficult. You just take a sharp knife and, well, you just cut off its head. It's simple.
But that's murder.
Oh, preposterous. There's nothing to it.
Then you do it.
All right, What's he saying now?
He wants a lawyer.
Oh, this is silly. You and your imagination. You're making a nervous wreck out of me. Oh, if that's Mrs. O'Reilly, this is the end. Who is it?
Me.
Oh, come in.
Hello, Jane. Hi, chicken. I was just about... Hey, that bird's a little early for dinner, ain't he?
Never mind the dialogue. Al, are you a man?
Well, unless I forgot to take off my Halloween costume, yes. What?
Irma bought this live turkey, and if Mrs. O'Reilly finds out about it, we're all dead ducks. So would you, kill it for us?
Who, me? Nothing doing. I ain't got nothing against him.
Al, don't tell me you're squeamish.
Cannot stand the sight of blood. Cut into a medium rare steak one time, almost passed out.
Don't blame the steak. It wasn't the blood you saw, it was the check.
Oh, no, Jane, Al has a soft heart. I know because every time I think about him, I get the same feeling in my head.
Well, thanks, chicken. But know what to do. You see, in a case like this, there's only one man who can help us.
Who, Al?
Who else but... Hello, Joe. Al, got a problem. Have to knock off a certain bird. What's my move? What? For a C note, one of your boys, Casual Casper, will do the job so it'll look like an accident? No, Joe, this is a feathered bird. A turkey. What do you advise? Uh-huh. Thanks, Joe, and goodbye, noble friend. Well, your problem is solved, girls. All we have to do is spread breadcrumbs around the electric fan. And when your little turkey starts poking his head around them blades, you turn on the switch, set the tape.
No, Al. I don't think I care for feathered wallpaper. Uh-oh. This could be it. Who's there?
Me again, Kropotski.
Oh, come in.
Hello, Janie, Irma, and Alan. Oh, look, it's a turkey. For a minute, I thought it was Mrs. O'Reilly.
His name is George.
A pleasure. Girls, I don't want to be a wet blanket, but if Mrs. O'Reilly sees that bird and realizes she isn't looking in a mirror, she's going to throw you both right out.
We know that, Professor. Maybe you can help us, huh?
Anything you want.
I knew we could count on you. Would you kill the turkey for us?
Certainly. It's simple.
Well, how are you going to do it?
I'll tell him he has to share my room with me and he'll commit suicide.
Well, I can see you're not going to be any help. Well, Irma, we have no choice. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we're going to put a leash around that bird's neck, and you and I are going to walk him down to the butcher shop.
Oh, but Jane...
Please, Irma. My mind is made up.
All right. Come on, George.
So long, George. I'll be seeing you Thanksgiving. You won't be seeing me, but I'll be seeing you.
Well, we managed to get the turkey out of the building without Mrs. O'Reilly seeing us. And now we're walking it down the street. Irma is leading the turkey on a leash.
Come on, Fido. Here, Fido.
Irma, why are you calling Fido?
Well, we won't be conspicuous if people think it's a dog. Come on, Fido.
Irma, can't you get that turkey to go faster?
No, I think he knows where we're going. He keeps pulling back.
That's silly.
Jane.
What?
He's looking at you.
He is? I mean, so what?
He's got tears in his eyes.
It's just your imagination. Now, come on. Oh, there's the butcher's. Irma, please, stop pulling on my skirt.
That isn't me, it's a turkey.
It is?
Yes. Why don't you look at him?
Oh, stop being so emotional. After all, it's only a turkey. I think I had no willpower if I allowed myself to be... Irma?
Yes?
What's he doing now?
He's still staring at you and crying.
Oh, this is ridiculous. We're behaving like children. Now, there's nothing to it. Come on, Irma. Here's the butcher. You take him in.
I can't. He trusts me.
Now, see here, Irma. If you think I'm going to let a turkey make a fool out of me... Oh, Irma.
What, Jane?
I think he trusts me, too. Well, we're back in the apartment. Irma, myself, and... guess who? That's right. Dear little George. So far, we haven't crossed paths with Mrs. O'Reilly, but it's only a matter of time. Irma, however, is quite calm about the whole thing. She's knitting. Irma, what are you doing?
I'm knitting some booties.
Irma!
They're for George. I mean Georgette. She just laid an egg.
Oh, quick, Irma. Put the turkey in the bathroom. This might be Mrs. O'Reilly.
Oh, all right, Jane. Okay, he's in the bathroom.
Come in.
Hello, Janie. I thought you had company. I heard a strange voice.
Oh, that was me.
You, Irma?
Yes, it was her.
Yes, there I go again.
Irma, are you sure that's you?
Yes, I have hiccups.
But it sounded like a bird.
Well, I had eggs for breakfast.
Mrs. O'Reilly, tell me, where did you buy that lovely hat?
I'm not wearing a hat.
Well, it's very becoming.
Don't change the subject. I know what's going on. You've got something in that bathroom, and I'm going to find out what it is right now.
Well, Irma, get the suitcases. We might as well start packing.
Oh, girls. Oh, will you ever forgive me for being so suspicious? The bathroom's empty. That sound must have come from one of the other apartments. I'll go see. Oh, and I'm so sorry I bothered you.
Irma, I can't believe it. Let's look in the bathroom. Well, for goodness sakes, you left the window open and Georgette has flown away. Irma, we're saved.
Well, this is terrible.
What do you mean, terrible?
Who's going to sit on the egg?
Your winning smile is a Pepsodent smile. Again and again, people have found the smile that wins is the Pepsodent smile. That's borne out by the vote of thousands who tried new Pepsodent toothpaste with Irium in a recent nationwide test. These people were given plain, unlabeled tubes of Pepsodent and were asked to compare it with the brands they were using at home. When their votes came in, Pepsodent won by the overwhelming average of 3-1. These people say new Pepsodent tastes better, makes their breath cleaner, and their teeth brighter than any other toothpaste they tried. Remember, that's not just our opinion. That's what people say. They say it 3-1. They've seen Pepsodent with Irium remove the film that makes teeth look dull, uncover new brightness in their smiles. Try it, and you will see the smile that wins is the Pepsodent smile.
The day is saved. We still have no turkey for Thanksgiving, but at least we haven't been dispossessed by Mrs. O'Reilly, who's so strict about her rule, no pets. Irma, however, seems to be terribly concerned about this. Irma, honey, what's troubling you?
Oh, gosh. Now I'm afraid to have Al come over. All we do is pet.
And you know, talking about pets, me, Jane Stacy, I'm happy to live a dog's life with my friend Irma.
My Friend Irma is produced and directed by Cy Howard. Park Levy writes the script with Stanley Adams and Roland McLean, and it's brought to you by Pepsodent Toothpaste with Irium, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company. Marie Wilson is starred as Irma, with Joan Banks as Jane. The part of Al was played by John Brown. Hans Conried was heard as Professor Kropotkin, and Gloria Gordon as Mrs. O'Reilly. Music was under the direction of Lud Guskin. Don't forget, you'll be able to hear My Friend Irma on the big 2-hour, star-studded Thanksgiving Day program over most of these stations. Losses due to fires are at an all-time high and still skyrocketing. With preventable fires striking at the lives of our citizens, their homes, communities, and our forests, it behooves all of us to help prevent the destruction and loss which fire inevitably causes. This is Wendell Niles reminding you to tune in 1 hour earlier next week and listen to the Lux Radio Theater, followed by the Pepsodent show, My Friend Irma. CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
K-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program, brought to you by Jell-O and Jell-O Pudding, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with One on the House. The biggest dessert news in years. That's what folks everywhere are calling Jell-O's new locked-in flavor. Never has Jell-O tasted so rich and delicious. Today, it's even better than ever, and all because of a wonderful new process that locks in all of Jell-O's grand flavor, keeps it from fading, keeps it at full strength till the moment you use it. Today, Jell-O's vivid original goodness is locked right into the tiny Jell-O particles, where time can't touch it. It's protected against fading or changing in any way, and it comes out of the package just as rich and full-flavored as it went in. Prove it for yourself. Open a package of Jell-O. Notice that there's no heavy, fruity aroma, no sign of escaping flavor. But when you dissolve the Jell-O, you unlock its captive goodness, and out it pours for your pleasure. So order Jell-O tomorrow. Look for the big red letters on the box, and be sure to get Jell-O. The flavor never goes away. We put it in, and it's there to stay. One on the House, played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take you back 3 days and show you how Jack Benny entertained the gang on Thanksgiving. The time, 2 p.m. last Thursday. The scene, the kitchen of Jack's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack, Mary, and Rochester preparing the dinner. Take it away.
Now, what else? Oh, yes. Rochester, hand me those little plates there, will you?
Here you are, boss.
Let's see. A black one for Phil, a green one for Alice, a black one for Don, a green one for Mrs. Wilson, a black one for Mary.
Say, Jack, make mine a green one. I don't like ripe olives.
All right, I'll switch you and Don. There.
I'm hungry. I think I'll eat mine now.
Drop that. I don't want you to spoil your appetite. You know, we're having wild duck for our Thanksgiving dinner.
No chipped beef this year, eh?
Not unless we run short. Rochester, what are you putting in that dressing?
I thought a dash of gin would snap it up a little.
What? Who ever heard of putting gin in dressing?
On Central Avenue, it's a must.
Well, I don't want it in this dressing. And put that gin back in the first aid kit. Oh, Mary, take a look in the oven and see how the ducks are coming along.
Okay.
What was that?
They're not quite done yet.
Now, look, that noise came from some live ducks I got in the basement. These ducks here should be done by now. What time did we put them in the oven, Rochester?
About 10 o'clock last night.
Let's see, that's 16 hours. They're done all right. They sure look tender, don't they, Mary?
Tender? The middle one looks like Humphrey Bogart.
What an imagination. Now, Rochester, take each duck and stuff the dressing in it.
I ain't gonna touch old Humphrey.
Cut that out. Now get busy and stuff those ducks.
Okay, where's the shoehorn?
You don't need a shoehorn. Now, let's see. A green olive for me, a black one for...
Say, Jack, why don't you give those olives a little company and put some celery on the plate?
Celery? Okay. Open the icebox and get some.
I don't know the combination.
It's 45 right, 23 back, and 10 right. That's it.
Can I borrow your pencil, boss?
Don't bother writing it down. I'm changing it tomorrow. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, a green one for me, a black one for Billy Guest. That must be Dennis. Open the back door for him, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Send that kid on an errand. He takes all day.
Where'd he go, Jack?
Over to Ronald Coleman's to borrow something.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're always borrowing from Mr. Coleman.
That works both ways, Mary. Within the last year, he's borrowed over a dozen of my best eggs.
Your eggs?
Yes.
His chickens laid him in your garage.
That doesn't make any difference. That's the same thing as the grapefruit near the fence. What hangs over is mine. Even Coleman's lawyer admits that.
Well, don't ever hang your head over the fence or Coleman will pick your toupee.
Ha, ha, ha. I'm screaming.
Here's the punch bowl you wanted, Mr. Benny.
What is that?
Here's the punch bowl you wanted.
Thanks, kid. And what have you got in that bag?
Some corn. Mr. Coleman says please feed it to his chickens.
I've been feeding him plenty. Now, Dennis, the gang will be here pretty soon, so rub some of this burnt cork on your face.
Okay.
Burnt cork? What's that for?
Dennis is going to help serve dinner tonight. It's an emergency. I hired Rochester's brother, and he didn't show up. What happened to him, Rochester?
I was wrong, boss. He got 60 days instead of 30.
Oh, well, I can use him New Year's Eve. Now, Dennis, Rochester will be busy here in the kitchen, so it'll be your job to... Whoop, there's the front door. Now, here's your chance to practice. See who's at the door, Sylvester.
I'm going, Mr. Benny. I'm going.
Say, that's all right.
That boy does the worst blackface I ever heard.
Not so easy. I'd like to hear you do Irish sometime. Come on, Mary. We'll sit in the music room until the gang gets here.
A jukebox and an old fiddle, and you call it a music room.
Don't run down that jukebox, Mary. And incidentally, I wish you'd stop playing it with lifesavers. You got it all sticky.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilson are here, Master Colonel Benny.
Don't overdo it. Well, hello, Don, Peggy. Welcome to the Chateau Benny.
Oh, hello, Jack. Hello, Mary. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Well, you're looking fine, Peggy. Take Mrs. Wilson's coat, Sylvester.
Yeah, yep.
I wish he'd hold it down a little.
Well, 2 servants tonight. You're kind of putting on the dog, eh, Jack?
Well, it's a big party. Gee, Peggy, I'm sure glad you and Don were able to come to dinner today.
Yes, I am, too. Don's been gaining weight again, and I'm so happy he's someplace where he can't overeat.
Good. Well, I hate to disappoint you, Peggy, but there's going to be plenty of food on that table.
Yes, and I love chipped beef.
We're having wild duck. Now, let's have a little music while we're waiting. Mary, put a nickel in the jukebox.
I've only got one. I'm saving it for the apple machine.
All right, I'll put one in. That is if I've...
Here's a nickel, Jack.
Thanks. Say, here's one of Phil's records, Chattanooga Choo Choo. He sings the chorus on this one. Very cute, too. Wait till you hear it.
Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo? Track 29. Then you can give me a shine. I can afford to board a Chattanooga Choo Choo. I've got my fare and just an inkling to spare. You leave old Pennsylvania Station about 3:45. Read the magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner on the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear the whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Hurry up and coal in, gotta get a rollin'. Hoo-hoo, Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the station, fasten and late. I used to call Bunny Baby. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never wrong. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? There's gonna be a certain party at the station, satin and lace. I used to call my bunny, honey, funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that'll never roam. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, hoo-wee, hoo-wee. Chattanooga choo-choo, hoo-wee, hoo-wee. Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Isn't Phil a ham? He even puts applause on the record. That was a good number, though.
Yes, indeed.
By the way, Peggy, I don't believe you've been in my music room before, have you?
No, I haven't, Jack. And you've got some lovely old pieces here. Who furnished it? Harry's Pop Shop.
I only got the melodeon there. You know, Peggy, if you look around, you can get some of the...
Uh-oh. Here comes your boarder.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to him. His arm's in a sling. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Billingsley.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Having company for dinner, I see.
Yes, the others will be here pretty soon. Won't you have a seat?
Oh, thanks. I never touch them.
By the way, Mr. Billingsley, I noticed your arm's in a sling. How did you happen to break it?
I was putting on my long underwear this morning, and I fell off the ladder.
Oh, well, why do you have to climb a ladder to put on your underwear?
When I say long, I mean long.
Oh, I see. Won't you join us for dinner, Mr. Billingsley? We're having wild duck.
No, I'll have a glass of dressing later. Good night.
Getting more eccentric every day. But who else would pay me $800 a week for room and board? An amazing character, you know?
Mr. Benny, can I speak to you confidentially? It's very important.
Oh, now what? Excuse me, folks. What is it, Rochester?
Boss, those ducks ain't never gonna get tender.
Why? What happened?
I just stuck a fork in one of them and it kicked gravy all over me.
Now, that's ridiculous. It probably slid in the pan. That's all.
You may be right, boss, but I don't think it would hurt to shoot them just once more.
Don't you dare. I shot those ducks. All you've got to do is cook them. I want dinner served as soon as Mr. and Mrs. Harris arrive.
But, boss...
Now get back to the kitchen. Oh, sorry, folks.
What's the matter, Jack?
Oh, Rochester's having a little trouble with the ducks. It seems... Well, everything will be all right now. Yes, sir.
Jack, what was that noise? It sounded like a gunshot.
How do I know? Well, folks, just as soon as There's someone at the door, Sylvester. Sylvester, answer the door.
That's dough, boss.
All right, answer the door. And don't shuffle, just walk. Say, Don, would you like a cocktail before dinner? Hey, Don?
Definitely no.
Well, I can see who wears the pants in that family.
With Don's, there's room for both of them.
You said it.
Announcing Mr. and Mrs. Phil Harris.
Phil!
Hiya, Jackson.
And Alice. Well, Alice, I'm sure happy you were able to come to dinner.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed it for anything, Jackson.
Jackson. She calls me Jackson. You know everybody here, don't you, Alice?
Hello, Alice. Oh, why, Peggy, I haven't seen you since our trip to New York.
And Alice, you know Mary Livingston, huh?
Oh, well, of course I do. Hello, Mary. So nice seeing you again. Hello.
Hello. That's a fine greeting.
Who cares how many fan clubs she's got?
Mary. Don't pay any attention to her, Alice. You see, Mary is always jealous of any girl that shines up to me.
Well, who's shining up to you?
Well, I mean...
Explain that, Jackson.
Don't get excited, Phil. Now, look, fellas, let's not have a brawl. I don't want duck stains all over the furniture. Well, this is the first time you've ever been to my house, isn't it, Alice?
Yes, and I think it's furnished in very good taste. What did you mean, Phil? I should wear my old clothes.
Why, Phil, you little rascal. Say, Mary, call up Luella Parsons and tell her Alice Faye is visiting me.
She'll never believe it.
She will, too. And call Harrison Carroll.
Say, Phil, I want to congratulate you on your performance last night in The Courtship of Miles Standish.
Yeah, it's the best play our night school ever put on, Don. Oh, yes, Phil. You were excellent as Priscilla. But as long as you were playing the part of a girl, why didn't you shave before you went out on the stage?
I didn't want people to think I was on the level.
Well, it spoiled it a little for me. By the way, Phil, use the ashtray, Peggy. These rugs are expensive. By the way, Phil, that's a girl. By the way, Phil, Phil, did you get those flowers I sent you before the performance?
Oh, yeah, thanks for the Christmas anthemums.
Christmas anthemums?
Phil, I told you last night it's one word, chrysanthemum.
Oh, lay off, honey. I don't want no lecture on Thanksgiving.
Behave yourself, Phil, or I won't read that book to you anymore.
What book are you reading to him, Alice?
Oh, you know, Jack. A is for apple, so round and red. B is for butter. You spread it on bread.
What? Are you kidding?
C is for crackers. You eat them in bed. I know them all.
See, you'll be up to the Rover Boys pretty soon. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm going to have a cocktail before dinner.
Oh, don't, Jack. You always act so silly.
I do not.
One cocktail and it's... Look, fellas, I'm a Spanish dancer.
Oh.
A Spanish dancer?
By that time, he's wearing a lampshade.
Well, someone's got to put a little life in the parties around this town. Oh, Sylvester.
Yabba, boss.
Go out in the kitchen and tell Rochester we're ready for dinner.
I'm going. Hold that barge. Lift up there.
Oh, shut up. Well, Alice, I hope you're good and hungry. I'm on a diet myself. You see, I have to be on account of the new picture I'm making.
I knew he'd get around to that.
Quiet. You see, I'm working opposite Carol Lombard, and I must look my best.
Well, Jack, I've seen you in pictures before, and as I recall, you always look very nice.
Yes, I imagine I do, but, of course, I look much younger on the screen.
Oh, much.
Mary. You know, Alice, now that we're both at 20th Century Fox, maybe you and I will be working together soon.
Who knows? I think we'd make a swell team.
Yes, you with your youth and beauty, and me with my suave, debonair charm.
You're right, Phil. He is hammy.
You know, Alice, the next time I see Mr. Zanuck...
Dinner, sir, folks. Walk. Do not run to the dining room.
Now, this way, everybody. Now, Don, you take Alice. Phil, you take Peggy. And Mary... Oh, Mary, call up Hedda Hopper and Jimmy Starr and Herb Stein. Tell them that Alice Faye's having dinner with me today.
Okay.
And call Sidney Skalski, too.
Skalski?
Yes.
Who's going to boost him up to the telephone?
He's got a ladder like Billingsley. All right, everybody, grab your seat. And take your time now. There's plenty for all. Come on. We're all buddies. Boy, what a dinner.
Say, this dressing is delicious, Jack.
I'm glad you like it. Oh, Rochester, serve Mrs. Harris some more duck. Do you have another piece of duck, Alice?
No, thanks. I'm still chewing on my first piece.
Well, you've got beautiful teeth. Use them. I think the duck is very tasty, don't you, Mary?
Yeah, but the next time you go out shooting, be more careful. Mine's full of buckshot.
Mary, that's what that bowl is for. Dump the buckshot in the bowl.
Oh.
That's it. Personally, I think this is the finest meal.
Pass me that bowl, will you, Mary?
Here you are, Phil.
Thanks.
Well, I really banged away at that one, didn't I? But I still say this is a lovely dinner.
Yeah, everything from soup to lead.
Never mind, and have another cranberry.
One cranberry, you're supposed to have cranberry sauce.
Well, squash it. Are you helpless? What's the matter with you, anyway? Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Bring me a sharper knife. I got Humphrey. Say, Alice, I have a real treat for you. After dinner, I'll take you downstairs and show you Carmichael, my polar bear.
Oh, that's swell. I love animals.
You do? Have you got any pets, Alice?
Oh, just Phil, my little reformed wolf.
Good. Yes, sir. Some more dressing, Don?
No, thanks. By the way, Jack, where's Dennis? Didn't you invite him to dinner?
Yes, I wonder what happened to the kid.
Me too.
Mary, don't give it away. Oh, Sylvester, have we heard from Mr. Day?
Yeah, he phoned and left word that he was having dinner with Miss Hetty Lamar.
Hetty Lamar?
That boy sure gets around, don't he?
All right, Sylvester, stop leaning on the table and get busy. Enjoying the food, Peggy?
Oh, it's fine, Jack. And the dressing's delicious. What's in it?
I really don't know. Oh, Rochester?
Yes, boss?
What's in this dressing?
What ain't?
He's like all good chefs, Peggy. Just won't give away his secrets. Get another bowl, Rochester. This one's full. Everything all right, Alice?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've never been to such a novel dinner party. Imagine, Phil, I got a prize in my dressing.
A prize?
Uh-huh. Look, a shoehorn.
That is a novelty, isn't it?
I got a Red Cross button in mine.
Well, hand it over. I joined yesterday. That reminds me, everybody should, especially this year. Rochester, I think we'll have our dessert and coffee in the music room.
Okay, boss.
That is, if everybody's had enough duck. Come on, let's go in the music room.
What are we having for dessert, Jack?
What do you think?
I'll bet $1,000 it's Jell-O with that new locked-in flavor.
You win, Don. The flavor never goes away.
They put it in and it's there to stay.
Say, let's have some entertainment while we're waiting for the coffee.
Yeah, what do we do?
Well, we can... Oh, I know. Hey, look at me, fellas.
Yeah, take that bowl of fruit off your head. You don't look anything like Carmen Miranda.
Well, somebody's got to entertain.
Well, what about Alice singing a song for us?
Yeah, what about it, Alice?
Come on, Alice. Why don't you sing a song?
Come on.
Come on.
You hear that, Alice? Will you sing for us?
Wait till I finish chewing this duck, huh?
All right. Now, I'll tell you what. If you sing, I'll accompany you on the violin.
No, Jackson. No, not that.
All right. Come on, Alice. What's that song? Alice, what's that song you did in your new picture, Weekend in Havana?
You mean Tropical Magic?
Yeah, that's it. You sing Tropical Magic, and I'll pull rabbits out of a hat. Quiet, everybody. Alice is going to sing.
Tropical magic, strange fascination, moon of temptation, black velvet sky. Tropical magic, lost in your splendor, love will surrender to a passionate smile. Whispering shadows out of a midnight, whisper manana, but never goodbye. Music is playing, tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart. Manana, but never goodbye. Music is playing tropical magic. You'll have me saying adios to my heart, adios to my heart.
Well, anyway, folks, that's just about what happened at Jack's house last Thursday. Alice sang her song, and then we all played games and had a swell time. And just as we were leaving, we could hear Rochester calling back.
Hey, Mr. Billy.
What is it, Rochester?
What'll I do with all this duff that's left over?
Well, we can have it tomorrow night.
What about the mashed potatoes and all this?
It's very tasty.
Okay.
Make a pie out of them. Cranberry pie is delicious, you know.
Okay. Oh, say, boss.
What?
I think we ought to turn this buckshot over to the government for national defense.
That's a very good idea. Early yet, so I'm going out to see a movie.
Is that still playing around?
I don't mean Charlie's Aunt. See you later.
Good night, boss.
Good night, Rochester.
One of Mary Livingston's favorite Jell-O desserts is a swell treat called peach and banana mold. Because I think you like it too, I'm going to pass it right along. It's an easy recipe to remember. Its main ingredients are canned sliced peaches, sliced bananas, and lime Jell-O. And you combine them like this. Make up one package of lime Jell-O as you usually do. Next, arrange 1/2 cup of canned sliced peaches on the bottom of the mold and pour the Jell-O over them. Then slice one banana into the Jell-O and chill until firm. When you unmold it, you'll have a beautiful 3-layer dessert. Golden peach slices on top, sliced bananas embedded on the bottom, and in between them and surrounding them, clear, glistening emerald lime Jell-O. Many grocers are featuring canned sliced peaches and lime Jell-O all next week. Get both and make up this grand treat. Just be sure when you buy to ask for Jell-O. Because Jell-O's new locked-in flavor gives you all the flavor, always.
This is the last number of the 8th program in the current Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday at the same time. Well, Alice, it was awfully sweet of you to come over tonight and show the folks what happened last Thursday, and your song was really wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Jackson.
Jackson. She called me Jackson. Good night, folks.
Program tonight returning to 20th Century Fox Pictures.
In gelatin desserts, it's Jell-O. In puddings, it's Jell-O pudding. And every well-stocked pantry should include them both. Jell-O puddings are rich, luscious desserts that you make with milk. And they come in 3 popular flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and butterscotch. Jell-O chocolate pudding is a pudding that even Grandma would be proud to make. It has a smooth, creamy, homemade goodness all its own. A mellow chocolate flavor developed exclusively for Jell-O puddings by the famous Walter Baker chocolate people. Tomorrow, when you order Jell-O, ask for Jell-O puddings. They're just like Grandma's, only more so. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell, P-R-E-L-L, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes and leaves hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Well, Thursday was Thanksgiving, as that fresh cranberry stain on your vest will indicate. And today we find Chester A. Riley thankful that it's all over. But a few days before Thanksgiving, Riley was singing a different tune as he was walking home from work with his friend, neighbor, and co-worker, Jim Gillis.
Hey, wait, Gillis. Let's go down this street here. I got to pick up our Thanksgiving turkey at Al's Meat Market.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me. My honeybee told me to pick ours up.
Ah, great guy, Al. You know, in our house, all four of us like the drumstick, and nobody likes the whatchamacallit. So this year, Al promised to give me a turkey with 4 drumsticks.
How is that possible? One turkey with 4 drumsticks?
Yeah, well, with Al, it's easy. Some other customer will get a turkey with no drumsticks and 2 whatchamacallits. You know, I love Thanksgiving, Gillis.
Yeah, me too. It's nice to stay home and bask on the bosom of the family.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky compared to other guys. We got something to be thankful for. After all, we've got our health.
Yeah, that's something to be thankful for.
We each got fine kids who are married to 2 fine, plain, home-loving girls.
Yeah, that's something to be thankful for.
You know, Gillis, we might have married a couple of flashy dames just for their looks. You know the type, those luscious blondes with those gorgeous figures, but we didn't.
That's something to be thankful for.
And that ain't all. I'm thankful for the good friends I got. Like you, Gillis. A guy couldn't ask for no better friend than you. You're wonderful.
I love you too, Riley. I feel like we're more than just friends. We're brothers.
Oh, we're more than brothers. We're sisters. Under the skin. I'll never forget what you did that time our house burned down and we had no place to live.
Ah, what did I do? So I let your family live in my house for a couple of weeks. Any noble-type person would have did the same.
Yeah, but you only charged us $4 a day, the ceiling price.
Well, one good thing deserves another. I was just paying you back for that time 5 years ago when I needed that blood transfusion to save my life. I'll never forget how you offered your blood.
Oh, it was nothing. I just called up the blood bank and told them to give you a pint out of the quart I gave them.
I know, Riley, but it ain't your blood. It's the thought behind it.
Gillis, I got a great idea. Why don't you and the family have Thanksgiving dinner at our house? We'll all give thanks together.
Hey, that's a super pipe idea. I'll bring over our turkey and all the trimmings.
Great. Oh, boy, what a Thanksgiving we'll have. 2 turkeys, 2 dishes of cranberry sauce, 2 boats of gravy, 2 pumpkin pies, 2 big cigars to smoke after dinner.
And 2 wives to do the dirty dishes.
Chester Riley, how could you go and invite the Gillises for Thanksgiving dinner without telling me? I'd like to feed my guests, and we've only got 1 small turkey.
Relax, Peg, relax. I also invited their turkey.
Oh. Oh, no. No, it's not right to let guests bring food. Now, we'll buy
Dublin, it's real holiday spirit. When we sit down to eat, it won't be their food or our food. It'll be all for one and everybody for himself. We'll have fun.
Oh, I don't mind Mr. Gillis, but Mrs. Gillis is an awful pill.
Now, see here, Beds. You're talking about my best friend's wife. Honeybee Gillis is not a pill.
Bob's right. She's long and skinny. She's more like a capsule.
Junior.
You watch that fresh talk, Junior. You ain't getting so big that I can't get your mother to spank you.
I'm sorry, Pop, but that Egbert Gillis is murder. And when he sits down at the table, he eats like a wolf.
I said stop it. Just remember that wolf happens to be the cub of my best friend. Now, it's all settled. The Gillises are coming to dinner. My head's made up.
Hurry up, Riley. We'll be late for work.
So anyway, Gillis, when I told Peg and the kids that you and the family is coming over for Thanksgiving dinner, they was thrilled. You know what they said?
How should I know what they said? I ain't the kind of a next-door neighbor goes around eavesdropping.
Well, they said, Riley, that's a wonderful idea.
Oh, fine. And tell Junior not to worry. I'll see that my egg boy don't eat like a wolf.
Gillis. You heard.
Well, ever since that cut-rate dentist filled my tooth with copper, my ears pick up like a radio. Now, come on. If we're late once more this month, the boss will blow his top.
Oh, quit worrying. Mr. Stevenson went out of town for Thanksgiving.
No, he's staying here. Only his family went away. The chauffeur told me.
Oh, well, then we better snap it up.
Hi, fellas.
Hiya, Sharky.
Hi.
Heard the news? Botkin quit his job.
You mean the foreman, Benzedrine Botkin?
No kidding. Who's going to be the new foreman?
Nobody knows yet. Stevenson is going to announce somebody after Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a great job. I wonder who's going to get it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Every guy in the plant is angling for it. All sorts of schemes going on. Well, I got to go, fellas.
Hey, Sharky, what's that you got wrapped in that newspaper?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Just some petunias I picked for the boss's desk.
Ain't that disgusting, Riley? What some guys won't do just to butter up the boss.
Positively sickening. Now, me, I don't mind putting in 8 hours of hard work for Stevenson, and I'll gladly work overtime for time and a half. But when it comes to playing up to him, I draw the line. That's when I revolt.
I'm with you, pal. I revolt, too.
Yes, sir. We're both revolting.
Hello, Stevenson speaking.
Hello, boss. This is Gillis. I just heard you're going to be a bachelor on Thanksgiving. Me and the family would love to have you break bread on us.
Well, say, that's awfully nice of you, Gillis. I think I can... hold on a minute, will you? My other phone's ringing. Hello?
Hello, boss. This is Ratty. What are you doing for dinner on Thanksgiving?
You invited Mr. Stevenson?
Well, sure. He'll let me know definite tomorrow, but he'll come. Yes, sir. I'm out to get that foreman's job, Dumpling, and this will cinch it.
Oh, how?
While you're stuffing his stomach with turkey, I'll be stuffing his head about how good I am.
Oh, but you can't do that, especially with the Gillises here.
Oh, the Gillises won't be here. I'll uninvite them.
You couldn't do that. It isn't fair.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a double cross, but this may be the break of my lifetime. And after all, I'm not double-crossing just anybody. I'm doing it to my best friend.
But, honeybee, don't you get it? I invite the big boss here to dinner, I get in good with him, and the next day I'm foreman.
But you promised to go to the Riley.
Oh, I'll get out of that pooch face. This is a crucial thing. Now leave everything to me, vision of loveliness. Hey, Riley.
Oh, hiya, Gillis. I was just coming over to see you, pal.
I was just coming over to see you, Riley, my friend.
Listen, chum. About this joint Thanksgiving dinner over at my joint. I was thinking...
That's funny, Riley. So was I.
Yeah, I thought maybe we ought to call it off.
Oh, you was?
Yeah. You see, Gillis, I figured the best way to keep a friendship going is not to get too friendly.
Well, you got a good point there in your head.
In fact, it's very dangerous to get together Thanksgiving. I can see just what's going to happen. You'll come over with your wife and Egbert and your turkey. And there's me and my wife and kids and our turkey. It's very crowded.
Where am I sitting?
On the piano stool. Very uncomfortable. And everybody's nerves is on edge. First thing you know, my junior says to your Egbert, "Hey, Egghead, don't eat like a wolf."
Yeah, and then my Egbert takes a poke at your junior and gives him a bloody nose.
Right. And then my wife comes in, takes one look at Junior and yells, "Junior, wipe that cranberry sauce off your face."
But then she finds out what happened, so she turns on my honeybee.
That's right. And Peg says, "Really, honeybee, you might teach that brat of yours some manners." And then, naturally, your honeybee turns on my Peg.
Well, naturally. And she tells your wife off, but good.
And then I got to stick up for Peg, so I say, "Pipe down, honeybee, you're nothing but a pill." And that gets you sore, Gillis.
Why, that's what I always say. Oh! Yeah. I'm fine enough, so I say, "See here, Riley, I'm the only one can insult my wife." And then I pick up a turkey leg and throw it at you.
And I throw a whatchamacallit at you.
Right in the eye I get it. So I say to you, "Listen, you big baboon."
Who's a big baboon, Gillis, I say?
You are, you weasel, I say.
Well, if that's the way you feel, beat it. Go on, take your wife and your kid and your turkey and your stuffing.
Okay, I'm going. You know, if that's the way it's going to be, Riley, we better call this dinner off.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gillis.
Well, so long, pal.
Hello, chum. Happy Thanksgiving. We need some more rivets, Gillis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, quickie time, Riley.
Yeah, okay. You know, I sure am glad we called off our Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, much better we should each have a quiet dinner with no headaches, except our wives.
Yeah, you're right.
Riley.
Mr. Stevenson, what's he doing in the shop?
Riley, I want to thank you again for your invitation for Thanksgiving dinner.
Why, you double-crossing snake.
And Gillis, I want to thank you for your invitation.
Gillis, why, you're a bigger snake than I am.
Well, what's the trouble, boys?
So that's why you wanted to get out of our joint dinner.
Well, what about you?
Now, wait a minute, boys. Were you planning to have Thanksgiving dinner together?
Well, yes, only we...
Well, fine. That solves everything. I can accept both of your invitations at the same time. So go right ahead with your original plans and count me in. See you tomorrow at 3.
What a revolting development this is.
But, Jimsy, I thought your boss was coming here for dinner.
No saccharine lips. That's all changed now. We're all going to eat at Riley's.
Oh, but Egbert's been invited to Artie Meyer's house.
Good. Maybe it's better my boss don't see our Egbert. Things are tough enough.
Well, all right, we'll go. Even if it is Riley's house, you can still drop a few hints about the foreman's job.
Oh, no, that's out. Riley and me made an honorable deal. And hinting wouldn't be croquette.
I guess you're right. It's not the honest thing to do.
But I got a better plan. We're bringing a turkey, and Riley's got a turkey. But what do we need 2 turkeys for?
Why, yes, one'll be enough for 7 people, especially the portions Riley serves.
So I'll sell our gobbler and buy the boss a box of his favorite cigars. That'll put us in solid.
Oh, Jimsy, you're so clever.
But, Dumplin', it's so simple. Gillis is bringing a turkey, and we got a turkey. What do we need 2 turkeys for?
Well, yes, it is a lot, and today with the food shortage.
Sure, so I'll sell our turkey and buy the boss a cigar lighter. It's patriotic to save food, and the boss will love me for that lighter.
Well, now wait, Riley.
Poor Gillis. I bet he'd love to borrow my brain.
Well, I don't like it, Riley. It's underhanded, and it's just not fair.
I know, Peg, but you don't understand. This is business. And the business world, it's like a jungle. Beast against beast. That's the only way to get ahead. So don't you worry. When I'm foreman, you'll give thanks that you're married to a beast like me.
We'll hear the second act of The Life of Riley in a moment.
Say, Ken, millions are asking for Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in a handy tube.
Of course, Prell's popular for 2 reasons.
First, Prell leaves hair more radiant than any soap or soap shampoo because Prell can't leave a dulling soap film.
Second, Prell's a wonder for unsightly dandruff. Yes, Prell removes such dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Examinations by a group of doctors proved it. In case after case, even stubborn dandruff was controlled by only 2 Prell shampoos a week.
And that handy Prell tube's popular, too. No messy jars, no waste or spill.
A little makes mountains of lather. So for hair radiantly clean, hair free of unsightly dandruff, ask for...
P-R-E-L-L Prell Shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff isn't sight. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L Prell Shampoo.
By Prell. And now back to The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley.
Well, got the table all set.
Oh, it looks beautiful, Babs. Hey, where's the carving knife?
Oh, here it is, Pop.
I wonder if it's sharp enough. Junior, bend your head down.
Riley! Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, don't get excited. I just want one hair.
Now, who left the door open like that? Oh, shut that.
No. Leave it open.
Well, why, Daddy?
Well, Gillis's hands will be so full carrying his turkey, he won't be able to ring the bell.
Oh, don't be silly. Shut it back.
Say, I almost forgot the champagne. Where's the champagne?
Oh, here, Daddy.
Junior, empty the ashes out of the bucket and fill it with ice. I'll put the champagne in it. I want the boss to have everything like he has at home. Oh, this champagne's great stuff. Imported from San Diego.
Oh, that must be the Gillises.
Happy Thanksgiving, folks.
Oh, Mr. Gillis.
Come in, Gillis, old pal. I hope you've run your appetite.
Don't worry, Riley. I'll gorge up my quota of victuals.
Hello, Mr. Gillis.
Hi.
Gillis, you're alone?
Oh, no. Honeybee went into your kitchen.
Oh, naturally.
Boy, that turkey smells delicious.
Oh, yeah, I smell it, too. That aroma sure has a wonderful odor.
Well, I don't smell any turkey.
Well, Ted, where's your nose? Why, the air is reeking with it.
It certainly is. Pardon me while I drool.
Well, I better give Honeybee a hand in the kitchen. Oh, there's Mr. Stevenson.
Now, remember, Gillis, no hinting about the job.
Not a word.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, hello, Mr. Stevenson. Come
Hi, boys.
Hi there, Chief.
Well, Junior, Barbara.
Hello, let me take your coat.
Thank you, Barbara.
Here, sit down, boss. Make yourself at home in my chair.
What Gillis means is make yourself at home in my chair. In my home.
I hope I'm not too early, Riley.
Oh, no, you're just in time. We were all waiting for you, including the turkey.
Turkey. Just the thought of it makes my mouth water.
Riley, give the boss a blotter.
Well, shall we sit down, Peg? Huh?
Yes, dear, I'm all ready.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there, everybody.
Hello, honeybee.
Oh, Mr. Stevenson, charmed, simply charmed.
Pleasure to see you, Mrs. Gillis.
Well, shall we sit down, Honeybee? Yes, by all means, darling. Well, let's see. You sit here, Mr. Stevenson.
Thank you.
And, let's see. Honeybee and Miss Gillis there. And Ronnie sits there.
Yeah.
Oh, and Babs and Junior. Oh,
Here, Mr. Stevenson. Here, Mr. Stevenson, you do the carving. Huh?
Oh, no, I couldn't, Riley.
Oh, go on. You're good at cutting salaries. Try it on a turkey.
Well, all right. Well, I'm all set. Bring on the turkey.
Okay, bring on the turkey.
Yep, bring on the turkey.
All right, Honeybee, bring on the turkey. Say, where is it, Peggy, dear? Why, in the kitchen where you put it. I didn't put it anywhere. Where'd you put it, darling?
Something wrong, folks?
Why, don't worry, boss. We'll track it down. Gillis, where's the turkey you brought?
Oh, I didn't tell you. I didn't bring any.
You didn't?
Well, where's the turkey you had?
Oh, well, that's right. I didn't tell you. We ain't got it.
Oh.
You see, we thought you were...
Oh, dear. Oh, my. Gypsy, run down to the delicatessen and see if you can get some turkey. Hurry.
Okay, sit tight. Excuse me a minute, folks.
Riley, say something.
I read in a magazine once that sardines have got more vitamins than all...
How's school coming, Junior?
Oh, it's fine, Mr. Stevenson.
Nice weather for Thanksgiving, isn't it? Wonder how Cornell make out against Penn. I was thinking of going to see the new play at the Madison tonight, but I hear it's in Turkey. Oh, come now, folks. Just because there's been a little mishap with the turkey doesn't mean we all have to be so glum. Who wants this carving knife?
Oh, you can't imagine how embarrassed I am, Mr. Stevenson.
Well, please don't be. Worse things can happen.
Yeah, the boss is right. Why, if somebody walked in now and saw us sitting here like this, they'd think this was a funeral.
Speak for yourself, John.
Digger, it's you.
Yes, it is I. Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. You're looking fine. Very hungry.
Why didn't you ring the bell, Digger?
Well, I came in through the kitchen. You see,
This is my boss, Mr. Carl Stevenson. Boss, Digger Odell.
How do you do?
Carl Stevenson. Well, as I live and breathe, if you'll pardon the expression. Glad to know you, sir. One of my dearest cronies was your late uncle, Rufus Q. Stevenson, the pawnbroker.
Oh, yes, good old Uncle Rufus.
A fine man. He once helped me out of a hole. I've always regretted I couldn't do the same for him.
We were almost going to have a little Thanksgiving dinner, Digger.
Ah, Thanksgiving. My favorite holiday. Started by the Pilgrims, one of whom was my ancestor, Roger Odell.
Really?
Ah, yes. He started the family profession, a stone's throw from Plymouth Rock.
Gee, a pilgrim.
The very day they landed, they were attacked by a ferocious band of Iroquois. And Roger Odell personally made 50 Indians bite the dust.
Wait a minute, Digger. He killed 50 Indians?
No, the others killed them, but Odell made them bite the dust. Well, toodaloo.
Oh, we'd ask you to stay for dinner, Mr. Odell.
Oh, no, thank you. My family and I were invited at the last minute to be the guests of J.J. Gabriel.
Oh, yeah. He's the town's biggest undertaker.
Oh, yes. He does a land office business.
You're eating dinner at his place?
I have to for business reasons. So I brought you over our turkey, all cooked and ready to serve.
Digger! You brought us a turkey?
Yes, I laid it out in the kitchen.
Oh, Digger, you saved my life.
I did? Well, after all, it's a holiday.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Odell.
I really must go. Gabriel is waiting for me outside. That's Gabriel now. And you know me. When Gabriel blows his horn, I come a-running. Cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Boy, Digger sure saved our life with this turkey, eh? Hey, Gillis, can't you eat quieter? You sound like the super chief.
On my word, Mrs. Riley, I haven't had a meal like this in years.
Neither have we.
Oh. That's no way to talk.
Don't yell at the boy, Dumplin'. He only means we can't eat like this every day with the salary I get on the job I got now. Have some more of my turkey, boys. Huh?
Hey, Riley, no hinting. Here, boys, have one of my radishes.
No, thank you, really.
How about a little more pie? Here, take mine.
No, take mine. I ain't bitten into mine yet.
More coffee, boss?
Please, boys, not another morsel. All I want now is to fall into a soft chair and smoke a good cigar.
Oh, well, here, smoke a whole box with my love.
Well, light him with this nifty lighter, right from my heart.
Well, boys, this is very nice of you, but you really shouldn't have done it. I don't expect any presents.
Oh, forget it, boys.
Well, shall we go in the other room?
Yeah, no, wait. Let's drink a toast.
Good idea. What do we drink to?
Let's drink to the health and happiness of the new foreman.
Oh, then you know Riley.
Well, I sort of guess.
You know too, Gillis?
Well, I know what a great executive you are, boss. So there's only one man you could pick. Get ready, honeybee.
I'm so excited.
Well, I'm glad you men like the man of my choice. So here's luck to the new foreman, Joe Beamish.
And to Joe Beamish. Joe Beamish?
Joe Beamish?
Yes, Joe Beamish. Fine fellow. Oh, Gillis, hand me that ashtray, please.
Get it yourself.
Don't be rude.
Something wrong? Riley, what's the matter?
What's the matter? Making Joe Beamish foreman. After all we did for you, some gratitude.
What Riley's saying, I'm endorsing in spaceship.
Now, wait.
When you opened up the plant and you couldn't get no help, who gave up a good job to go and work for you? We did. But where was Joe Beamish?
Go on, Riley. Give it to him good.
Right in front of me.
But Riley...
And during the war, we could have gotten better jobs for more pay, but we stuck with you. And where was Joe Beamish then?
He was flying a plane over Germany.
Germany. That's a fine place to be with a war going on. Oh, that Joe Beamish. The one who was wounded?
Yes. He's out of the hospital now. And he uses that artificial leg just fine. Besides that, he has seniority, and he's a fine worker.
You couldn't have picked a better man, boss.
I'm sorry if I've disappointed you fellas.
Oh, you didn't, Mr. Stevenson. What Riley says, I agree with him.
Honest, I ain't disappointed either. Joe Beamish deserves the job.
That's the way to talk, dear. I don't mind if you're not foreman.
Oh, sure. Why should you mind, Dumplin'? After all, you got plenty to be thankful for as it is. You're still young and good-looking. You got a son who's handsome. You got a daughter who's gorgeous. And you got a husband who... Hey, if there's any more turkey left, I'll have to whatchamacallit.
Riley's will be back in just a moment. The Wonder Shampoo. That's what they say about Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. From Fair Lawn, New Jersey, Mrs. P.S. Keller writes,
I am so pleased with the results of my Prell shampoo. Even in our hard water, Prell really worked wonders. Left my hair clean and soft, nicely manageable.
Yes, one trial, and you'll agree, Prell's a wonder for two reasons. First, Prell removes unsightly dandruff quickly. Second, Prell leaves hair radiantly lovely. Buy, try.
P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo. Leaves hair radiant, gleaming bright. Not a bit of dandruff is inside. Comes in a tube, handy too. P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo.
Well, it ended up a nice dinner after all, didn't it, honeybee?
Oh, simply scrumptious.
And even if we ain't foremen, we're still friends. Hey, Riley? Through thick and thin.
Yes, Sir Gillis, and believe me, they don't come any thicker than us.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. William Bendix can currently be seen in the Paramount picture Where There's Life. The script is by Reuben Ship and Alan Lipscott. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced and directed by Irving Brecker.
Oh, she was the Duchess' daughter. Her finery looked just so. She washed them all as you water with wonderful ivory snow.
Ah, wonderful ivory snow. The soap that's so kind to your hands, you just know it's kind to sheer nylons and dainty lingerie. And your hands will tell you why Ivory Snow keeps lovely washables lovely longer. Prove it. This week, wash your dishes with Ivory Snow. When you see how it pampers your hands, you'll really know it's extra kind of fine fabrics. There's no other soap like it. Ivory Snow is the only soap, both ivory mild and in granulated form. Make suds instantly in lukewarm, even in cool water. Your hands will tell you why Ivory Snow keeps pretty lingerie and other nice things lovely longer.
Oh, wonderful ivory snow.
S-N-O-W.
This is Ken Carpenter reminding you that for radiantly clean, lovely hair, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo. And listen again next week when Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.